And we are live. Dead is Better episode. Oh god, this is gonna be like 5 now? Clearly 5. I've been trying to kill
I
these
think so.
guys for 5 episodes and I've failed every week so far. And I have pneumonia this week, so I'm a little out of it and the show is going to be a little different. Hopefully more brutal. Hopefully my reptilian brain will take over in my cognitively impaired state and just lash out violently at the players so we can just get this shit solved. I am Will Thompson, your GM this week, this evening, and every evening here at the League of Gentlemen Explorers, and you have tuned into Dead is Better, the zombie survival horror tabletop RPG live stream experience event extravaganza. I'm just going to keep adding descriptors every week, and eventually I won't even have to come up with anything to do because it'll just be 3 hours of describing Dead is Better. But with me this week are still somehow the original group of survivors.
Yes.
I don't
I
get
don't
this,
know
but
how, but it
we're on the
happened.
verge of fixing this at any rate. We have Sean McCree, we have Mary Mead, we have Mike Skibba, and we have Mike Bowser. And we have a question every week pertaining to the post-apocalypse, and you know what? In my addled state, I forgot to come up with one. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, what would you do if you woke up and suddenly coughed up half a cup of blood? Mike Bowser, starting with you. You wake up, you cough up half a cup of blood.
So it's like Tuesday then?
Sunday. But yeah.
No. I don't know. See if I cough up any more.
Oh, you do. You do, for the love of God, you do. In fact, all you can do for like 15 minutes is cough, and there's just more blood, and then it's the whole bottom of your kitchen sink, and you go, oh fuck, I need to go to like see a doctor.
Yeah, I think if it was just I wake up, cough up blood, and then I'm done, I'll write it off. But
oh yeah, of course. Doctor. Just half a cup of blood. Shit, that's not even like a lungful. I'd go about my day. Yep. No, yeah, all right. So this isn't a real question, clearly, but we are. That was the state of me on Sunday. Is the whole point? That's why there weren't any shows this week. I apologize, people, but I required steroids and antibiotics and bed rest because I was literally dying. It turned out, and I felt like shit last week. I was like run down, and I was like, man, I'm just stretching myself too thin. No, I had pneumonia. It's awesome. But
you have to be happy Mary wasn't there to shoot you.
No shit, that's what I'm saying, right? Like Mary sees me start coughing, just blat. 6-gun Mary. But speaking of 6-gun Mary and the rest of these people, wow, it's the Pinnacle cruise ship is where you have been. Who wants to participate in this evening's contest for a Benny?
Oh my God, we used all of our pennies last time.
So.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm looking at the Benny count here, and Sean and Skibba could.
Sean should definitely try. I think.
Oh my God.
Yes, Sean, we'll let Sean have first dibs at this.
Yeah, Sean found herself in very dire straits last week. The Pinnacle cruise ship is sinking, actively connected to a like a little crash boat. That the special ops team had attached to the side of the boat. The rest of the team, including our wheelchair-bound Mary Mead, somehow made it into the crash boat.
I don't know how this happened.
Without dying. Well, I do, but that's why we're going to get the recap. Sean, unfortunately, though, missed the boat and then just critically failed like 2 swimming rolls in a row and has found herself now in the, well, you failed 4, but you critically failed like 2 of them. So she is out in the ocean. It is pitch black. There are, 40, 50-foot swells as the hurricane kicks up. There are 2 ships sinking. And she is in very much so danger of becoming too separated from the group to find and drowning rather inauspiciously, and then sitting here very politely the whole episode. Like, God damn it.
Yeah, I feel. I don't really.
But that's not gonna happen. But especially since you're about to give me a badass recap. What all happened last week, Sean?
You know, you did pretty much a good ending, so I'm just gonna give you the half. But okay, all right. So we were locked in the auditorium, or not locked, but we were in the auditorium with the rest of the crew survivors, including the Bible thumping shepherd lady and her evermore growing flock.
That's right.
Yep, there you go. Yep, exactly. And we tried to get or Mary, more like she tried to get her calm down, quiet down, because she was just throwing blasphemy and just really had enough. Okay. And then I did not basically
This is a terrible recap so far.
I know I did not have good notes. I'll be honest, I did not make good notes because I was just so overwhelmed with just the outcome that I had, and I was in.
And this is for a Benny. So, this is for
yeah, I know. I know that
Mr.
Birthing a baby. We birthed a baby.
Set her off.
Oh, that's right. A baby was born. Way to go, Shiba. And then Kirkman died. Yes, Kirkman died.
Holy shit! All right. How did Kirkman die? How did Kirkman? All right, no, Benny. I'm sorry. This is just too much. I have had pneumonia and 104-degree fever this whole week.
Yeah, all right.
And all right. So they're in the auditorium. There is a religious lady. Watch me look straight ahead and not refer to any notes, by the name of Mrs. Harton. Right? Mrs. Harton was gathering a flock of religious fanatics by quoting several verses of scripture pertaining to the undead and the apocalypse, right? The Mary Mead has a particular obsession with talking down to these people, which did not work well.
I can't help it.
Right? Caused a factionalization of the group, right? Causing Kirkman to fire one of those I'm a badass shots into the air to try and calm the situation, right? That didn't work out. Everybody got a Benny for the group suddenly swarming forth and taking control. Mrs. Hartman got all, you know what we need? Some of that old-fashioned religion, talking the Abrahamic sacrifice, right? Mr. Forsyth, right, being a dumbass, goes over and apologizes to her for the state of things, saying he never meant for any of them to get ate, right? She says, what the fuck you just say, right? All of a sudden, next thing you know, he sacrificed numero uno, right? They drag him out of the room, shot in the leg, all whimpering, snot coming down, toss him in the hallway. He pounds on the door, screams for a minute, you hear, then the screaming stops, right? Like, Mrs. Harton, right, is informed that, well, there's a bunch of fucking dead people in the auditorium here, and, well, there's a pattern now where the dead people have stood back up real hungry-like. She claimed that that wasn't going to be an issue on account of the whole area being sanctified by her Vanda Hoodoo. Right, turns out she was incorrect there. Chaos reigned. You managed to intimidate the person that had confiscated your weapons into giving some of them back, and made your way to the bridge in an attempt to find some kind of comms equipment, anything that was remaining there that would help to give you a chance before you evacuated the ship. At which point, right, there was a little Nicotero Services, special alert, right? And Savini drew down on Kirkman, and you all had the, well, it was fun, kids speech, right? And then they, special sneaky zombie was behind him, leapt out, grabbed a buddy there. There was an exchange of fire in which Kirkman and Savini were both slain. Yes, well, half slain. You had to finish the job on Kirkman, and Savini was like, the boat's that way, and then you finish the job. I believe that was Mike that just, yeah,
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Mercy kill.
I'm getting done over this coming back shit.
Right, which leads us then to the scene I discussed. Everybody's on the boat. The charges go off that they had planted. It starts listing Everybody's freaking out about taking a wound from the fall, the wheelchair being permanently destroyed by the salt water or the boundless fathoms below. And through some rope and lucky dies, you managed to get everybody down to the crash boat, with the exception of Sean, who again just couldn't have done worse. There's no fathomable situation in which Sean could have done worse on that swimming. I mean, she's like a quarter mile away now. The ship's just a little speck of light, and she's gasping. What waves are rushing into her mouth? I mean, it's the whole, it's not great, is what the situation is. And the rest of you are in the boat, right? Where, if I recall, there was the smell of fuel, right? And then writing on the wall to indicate that it was the end of the show last week, but that's not really, that wasn't actually there. What was there is what we're going to find out right now as I put on the sound effects here.
Spooky.
Spooky.
Oh yeah, just establish some tension here with the general ambiance. So, the inside of the crash boat contains one Special Forces gentleman with the back of his head just blown clean off, pistol lying at his side, radio crackling, a husk wearing one of the crew uniforms, strangely, maybe fell off, saw some noise. Who knows how he got in there, filled with bullet holes, right, and very well deaded, all the same. It would appear that the smell of the fuel is coming from a fuel line that was hit in the ensuing firefight. Slow leak. I mean, it's dripping, I maybe wouldn't fire a gun or light a smoke in here.
Alright, then I definitely pull out my knife and have it in my hand.
Yeah, I mean, everything in here is dead. It's a little kitchenette, right? There's a little prep storage area. There's a bathroom with a stand-up recycled water shower, an enclosed area, and then a little bridge area. 2 seats.
Oh, okay. Alright, so this is a slow leak, slow fuel?
Yeah.
Can I see where it's leaking?
I mean, it's coming from a hole in the wall. You'd probably have to get the panel off and get back there and look at it.
Oh, crap. But I don't see any other zombies, nothing moving.
No, you do hear the radio crackling in the background.
Alright, well, I do want to just go ahead and stab the zombies in the head.
Oh, yeah, I mean...
The bodies.
Yeah.
Just a quick
stick. Yeah, why not?
I don't want anybody coming up from behind me while I try to get the boat turned on.
Skipper's starting to enjoy the sensation of steel entering flesh, the final solution to all that woes a man in the smallest hours of the night. Yeah, no, of course, yeah, you stab him. Everything's good.
I knew it would come around.
I want to try to find the keys to the boat, turn it.
Push button.
Finding the on switch.
Push button lever. Where the shit? No keys. I mean, it'll start up just fine.
Gotcha. I yell back to Mike and let him know, it's like, we need an engineer up here.
I think that perhaps firstly you might need somebody to find young Sean McCrae. See, I pronounced it right the second time I said it tonight, so there.
Well, I knew she was in the water. I was going to be trying to get this boat turned around to go towards her.
Yeah, well,
so far.
I'm afraid towards her is a bit of an assumption at this point. Sean, how many flares do you have?
2.
That's good. Hey, Sean, give me a swimming roll.
Okay.
Come on, Sean.
And remember,
on.
it's at a -2.
This is athletics, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
Come on.
-2. Would be a
Good luck.
-4, but you're
Good
wearing the
luck.
life vest.
Hey! Oh.
Hey! No. No, Sean.
Almost.
Fantastic. Now your head goes below, you know, a wave starts to surge up, right? And you try and duck the crest of it, and it just carries you down with it. You have up is down, down is up. Give me a notice roll. Explain to me, Sean, if you are tumbling underwater and it is pitch black, how would you determine which way the surface was? And this is for the modifier on your roll. Let's get enough out of you.
I don't. Depending on where the waves are, I can feel the waves blowing. I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna need this notice roll at a -2. All right, I am going to need from you a vigor roll. Sean,
Ouch.
you have taken a level of fatigue from swimming in the wrong direction. You only managed to break through to the surface and catch your next grasp of air due to the fact that the wave broke and you came out the side of it and then are picked back up and find yourself, you know, in the middle of the damn hurricane. Oh, why are there boat noises? God damn it. That's fine. So, Sean, level of fatigue now here. Give me a notice roll flat now you're back on the surface. You have no idea which direction the cruise ship or the people are from where you are at. It is just, you look one way, there are white caps, a flash of lightning. You look the other way, just endless sea. You are utterly alone in the middle of a hurricane with a barely functioning flotation device. And I think that this is probably going to be a test of your spirit. I would panic, fuck.
Mentally, I've already feel like I've given up. So.
Let's get that spirit roll, Sean. Holy shit. You hold it together. Fantastic. Fantastic.
So I want to run up and look at this fuel leak and see what.
Yeah. So, couple of problems here, right? First of all, this ship is not designed with handicap. I mean, it's a porthole, you know, so you're gonna have to fold the wheelchair, figure out something to do with it to get it actually into the ship, you know? I mean, it's a little tiny, it's a side hallway that runs down either side of this thing. I wouldn't leave it on deck while maneuvering or in the, you know.
No. Yeah, we'd have to drag that under with us. It folds up pretty compact, and you can take the wheels off if you need to.
Actually, why did I even change sound sets? The other one, I'm all over the place tonight. There we go. So, you are going to fold up your wheelchair and, like, tuck it in the porthole, scoot yourself inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bowser, it looks like you just need to find some kind of screwdriver or something, get this wall panel off, see where the leak's coming from.
I hand him my knife.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it looks exactly as stated that one of the rounds hit the engine block and in the process clipped one of the fuel lines. It didn't sever the thing, but there's definitely a slow leak going. And you understand, you know, any tape you have is only going to do so. I mean, you need to replace the fuel line, you know. Petrol just eats through all that shit.
Yeah. Is there anything in the immediate area that don't need?
Like a replacement fuel line just sitting there, like in the box? Yeah.
That would be the best.
No, nothing like that.
Duct tape, something like that.
I
asked
have
Mike, I
a
was like,
screwdriver in my toolkit.
Well, the screwdriver
Can
was
I
get
go
the
ahead
wall
and
panel
start?
off.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't do tools. I don't do fix-it stuff. That's not my thing. So I'm gonna offer what I have, and I don't
Like,
know
duct tape would probably be as close as you could get to a solution currently, and that is, I mean, that's just making the slow leak a slower leak. There's nothing that's gonna, you know. That being said, you could patch it, and you still have fuel reserves. You're going to be operating the boat, whether you're going to be able to drive the boat 2 days through a hurricane to get back to shore. You know, that's another thing altogether, or what their plan was. I mean, it strikes me as though that they would probably have some kind of mother craft, you know? You're not going to take one of these little boats 2 days out on the ocean, right? Like, but where the hell that is and whether they'd respond or anything like that, you know, that's neither here nor there.
Is there a fire hose on the ship?
Is there a fire? I mean, there's a fire extinguisher on the ship, certainly, that has, like, that little hose component. Again, it's not like it syncs up, you know, one for one, though. They would still require some kind of, you know, adhesive.
Well, no, my plan with the fire hose would be to cut a section of it off because it's obviously waterproof. Cut a section of it off and duct tape that around the seal. But if there's not an actual fire hose,
No, just a fire extinguisher.
what kind of seats are there?
There are, well, let's see here, actually. I will pull up the imagery for you and our audience here.
My main concern are the seats. Is there any leather surfaces in here?
Pleather, you know, all the stools are, you know.
Yeah.
The finest.
Minus leather
Yeah.
mercenaries can buy.
That's right.
Yeah, so I will give that a shot. I'll cut a section of that, like, you know, the part of the stool that goes in the mouth.
Yeah, man, give me a repair roll with a +2. That's a good idea. That's just solid thinking.
And while he's doing this, I'm just asking him, can I go ahead and hit the gas and get the boat turned around so it's less?
Thank God you got that +2.
Now that the repair's established, yeah, you won't force fuel out of there. I mean, yeah,
So, I'm just gonna tie that as hard as I can to keep as much of it in there as I can.
So guys, which direction did Sean go?
She went aft.
Yep. Back of the
That's all I know.
Away from the back of the boat.
Yep.
So, if I understand the situation correctly, we are on the port side, the starboard side
yep.
of the cruise ship. So we need to head starboard, turn
Starboard
around.
into the stern. Yeah, it's generally where you last spotted her before at least one or two just horrible failures on swimming and navigation.
Yeah. Are there like spotlights on the ship?
They are, but that will require somebody to be on the bow of the ship in the storm through the waves. You know.
We still have that rope.
yes, because I said it was 100 feet too long, allowing you to cut 100 feet of it that you shouldn't have. How dare I, in my benevolence.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to take that rope, tie it around myself, and then tie it around, well, I don't know, something heavy in here. And I'll go out and use the lights.
Just tie it around Mary. That seems safe. That'll do it. Just
You could go swimming with me.
tie one around Mary, right, and then the other end around the accelerator, right? Like that's the plan there.
Is the table bolted to the floor?
Oh yeah. I mean everything's full. You know, it's.
I'll just tie it around the table like that.
Yep. All right. So, friends, how would you go about establishing a search pattern for a single individual lost in 50-foot swells at night in a
That's rough.
hurricane?
Luckily, those life vests are nice fluorescent orange.
They're fluorescent orange and have reflectors, right? Only a couple of problems with this, right? We're talking you guys have a visibility, not counting the wave swells, of maybe 50 feet, 70 feet through the rain and the wind and everything kicking up, right? Secondly, in order for that to show in the color spectrum at all, you have to tag that shit with the headlight. The best hope of getting Sean, right, is getting within enough hundreds of feet of her that she happens to see that beam plays out, and then she happens to have the foresight to fire a flare, which happens to help you triangulate her location, which, I mean, there's just a lot that's, I mean, I'm not trying to be a dick here, but, you know, the Coast Guard fails at this, like, all the time. All the time. And that's in, like, oh, it's crystal clear, you know, I mean, the ocean's a big-ass place.
Oh, hell, they got the FLIR shit on their helicopters.
Right, well, yeah. And I'm sure, you know, if I wasn't a dick, you guys would have some IR too, but you know what? Mary got her wheelchair on the ship. That was the end of my benevolence for a month. But so again,
the
how
wheelchair
are we,
for Sean?
Right, wheelchair for McCrae. That's a fair trade.
That's me.
It's high midnight.
No, I'm just gonna sweep this the searchlight as we turn around.
Yeah, why don't you give me a notice at a -4?
Well, that should be fine.
And I'm gonna be watching Mike the entire time.
Awesome. Now, why don't you give me an athletics?
Me?
Yeah. Hey, alright. Wave rocked the boat. You managed to maintain your footing. Sean, why don't you give me a notice roll at a -6?
God.
Sean, you can do this. I have so much faith.
It's not me. It's their chance.
Oh, yeah. No,
Rolls.
Fantasy Grounds has destroyed you for at least an hour and a half.
Yep.
And I mean, a -6 is brutal, but I mean, you are a bobbing head on a sea of nothing. Trait roll was a natural 1, twice in a row, plus the -1 fatigue. Yeah, alright. So I will let you guys close the distance the first time automatically on account of you generally having known which direction she was drifting in. Sean, should you want to fire off a flare, you have 2, right? And
I mean,
I would let them close 2 distances in the triangulation, which means that he would be giving me a flat notice roll. Or you can save it, the off chance that they're in the right direction, they head off in the wrong. I mean, Lord, there are so many choices that... Oh, and also give me another notice roll just flat, Sean. You don't know what it was, but something just bumped against your leg.
God damn it.
Oh God.
come to rape me. Yes. A raping dolphin. Yes.
For those of you that don't know, dolphins are literally one of the only other species to just rape for fun. They kill for sport. They're terrible. They are a god-awful, evil
They're not
species.
cute. No.
They're sexually aggressive. They rape fish to death. Google it. I'm not making it up. They're not cool. Echo was a lie.
It's just...
Flipper was a lie. No, definitely not a dolphin.
Yeah, okay. Well, I passed my spirit roll, so I'm just gonna take
Yep.
Fire.
Oh, I'm not gonna make you do it again. I should have saved it for that, honestly, but...
What do I need to roll for, like...
For the flare?
Do I need to roll something? Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah. You're just firing
Okay.
straight up in the air on that.
Okay.
If I was a dick, I'd be like, yeah, I need a shooting and an athletics so you can be above the water while it goes. No. No, you just fire a flare off, yeah.
Okay, also, I'm, like, trying to pick my feet up, like...
Yeah, give me another notice roll, add a +2.
It's the Kraken.
Hey! Sean, there are several bodies in the water with you.
Oh, motherfuckers. Shit.
Like, you can see half a dozen.
Oh, fuck.
Not necessarily like, you know, forming a circle around you, but over on this wave, someone's floating face down over there. You know, next to you over here, yeah, Bodies
Yeah.
everywhere, yeah. Give me a notice roll at a +2. Mike Bowser. Although we are relying on Mike Bowser for this roll,
I
so...
know.
Hey, look at that. You notice the flare. How do you communicate the direction to Mike Skiba?
You can see me, right?
I can. I am focused on you.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah, you got the little windows, right? You're out on the bow at the spot. All right, yeah. Yeah, you're just gonna...
Yeah, so I'm just giving him hand signals whichever direction.
All right. So, you guys can follow that flare for what, like a minute and a half, 2 minutes? I mean, hey, you get that nice little, I will, Bowser, give me a flat note, or, yes, flat notice roll, Bowser.
Okay.
Holy shit.
I'm coming to save you, Sean.
Your spotlight pans over the waves and you see several bodies in the water.
Alright. Are any of them moving?
I mean, man, it is hard to tell without a raise on that notice roll. There's lots in the water. Very poorly illuminated, waves kick in, wind, you know, some hair going on one, you know, who knows.
Okay. How close to the flare are we?
A couple hundred yards at this point. 100, let's call it 300 feet.
Yeah, okay. I'll
Sean,
cruise
give me another flat notice roll.
Yes. There you go.
You see the spotlight from a, you know, the crash boat that looks like the crash boat. It plays across the water close to you, missing you, and then illuminating a figure floating on their back, staring at you, grinning.
Hell.
No.
Are guns waterproof?
Yeah, guns,
You
well,
can shoot it.
now,
You can shoot
for...
a rock in the water.
Right now, right this second, yes. If you take this gun loaded with salt water and you put it in your pocket and you hang on to it for a couple of days, no, definitely not. Currently, this gun should still fire, yes. Now, with your shooting skill, the fact that you are currently bobbing on the ocean,
Wait,
there
how
is
far away is this
terrible
guy?
lighting. Oh, 15 feet.
Okay, I'm just
At least you have a D4 now.
Yeah, if I see that ship, I know how to whistle. Did I?
All right, here we go.
If I whistle,
Do it for us. Show us.
you want me
Wait.
to whistle?
All right, here we go. Get the whistle. Whistle for us.
Wow.
I heard that. I'll be goddamn. I heard that over all that somehow.
But pretty impressive.
That all right? Yeah.
Yeah.
No. All right. You guys
Okay.
hear a whistle? Give me a notice roll at a +2.
Oh.
Woo! Yeah. No. Your flashlight
Yes.
plays over a very terrified Sean going.
Like whistling like Rose on Titanic. Like... oh my god.
Alright, I'm gonna lean back
Oh
and
gosh.
give Mike one of these. Now that we know where she is.
Sean, give me a swimming roll.
I still have a modifier?
Yeah, I mean, it's still -2,
Fatigue, right?
and then it'll be -3 on account of the fatigue, yeah. But it'll automatically calculate the fatigue, so.
So -2?
-2 swimming roll.
Hey, Mike, can we take one of our life vests tied to the other end of the rope and throw
Holy
it out there?
fucking
I've got a plan depending on the
Sean, you swim and you close half the distance easily. Give me another notice roll.
boom. A -2?
No, just straight, flat.
Okay, there you go.
You no longer see the smiling individual.
Okay.
All right, one more swimming roll, and you know what? I am going to give you this one at a +2 because I think just the sheer adrenaline and the surge of like, oh my god, I am so close. Like, I think I would definitely, that last bit of my battery would
Adrenaline.
kick in, you know?
Holy.
Sean, you make it to the front of the crash boat where Mike Bowser is standing. You gonna reach down and pull her into the, up onto the ship, Bowser?
Because if you don't, I'm like leaping up like a fish and like scrambling.
Excellent,
Oh my
Sean.
Free Willy. Leap.
Yeah, like Free Willy.
You are about halfway out of the water when something grabs hold of your ankle.
Oh no! No.
So I'm gonna, I guess, keep pulling up and use my other foot to kick the hand.
All right. Well, first off, for the pull-up, I am going to need a strength roll. This can be assisted by a strength roll from Mike Bowser. I'll need his first. Excellent, fantastic. So your strength roll will occur at a +2. This is just for the pulling of oneself up. Oh my, yeah. Fuck you say. And, yeah, I mean, you happen to time it with the wave or something. I mean, that's ridiculous. And now I am going to need a fighting roll, because you look down and it's the grinning dude. White knuckle gripping your ankle.
Yeah. Oh shit, I don't have fighting. God damn.
Nope. And if I was being accurate, it would be at a -2, which means I'd be looking for a 4 on a 0. But I'm just gonna make you roll the flat because, again, kind of benevolent God.
Okay, thank you.
Feeling good to be alive.
Oh shit.
Trait roll was that you cannot shake him. No.
You know, I see this fine young.
Why don't you give me a notice roll at a +1? Something wrong. She's not out of the water. You clearly, you know. Yep. Oh, nope. Now, you look over right as the wave dips up and she's underwater again halfway, so you don't see a damn thing. But Sean, you could take this time to scream, "It's got my fucking ankle," or any, literally anything,
Yeah, I'm just gonna yell, he's got me, kind of. I can't get up.
Alright, I'm gonna grab
They make pills for that!
I'm gonna grab the back of her life vest,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll give you your strength roll again if you want.
First I want an agility roll out of you.
And then I'm gonna draw the whistle.
Oh, shit.
Alright, I'm burning a Benny.
Yes, you are. Thank you. Just got... At least you're tied to the boat, for the love of God. Alright, you go and you grab the back of her life vest, and this dude comes surging out of the water, leaps for your arm, and you pull it away just in time, but now he has her by the back of the life vest. You look at him, his neck is gashed open, he's clearly one of the smart husks. It's not like he's about to give you a soliloquy or something, but, yeah.
I want to draw the Glock and shoot him in the head.
Woo! Well, I'm gonna need a shooting roll at a -4.
You're gonna be okay.
Come on, Marie.
On a 1 or a
Come on.
2, you're gonna shoot Sean.
Jesus.
Oh, man.
Get fucked, Smiley.
He just, splashes unceremoniously into the water. You haul her up onto the bow of the ship, and everybody is in the crash boat. Right? No shit.
Wow.
Just...
Oh my gosh. I thought I was gone.
I told you we're gonna save you.
Oh, man.
Worried all week.
It is a Stephen King book, yes. It's actually a William Thompson book supplemented by Lee. I forget who wrote the initial supplement I started this off of, but...
So I think we probably collapsed to the deck,
Oh, yeah.
and we share that moment.
Right.
Go inside. I put my Glock away like a badass.
Oh, yeah, no, it twirls. The rainwater flicks off of it, Like, the clouds break for just a second, and a single moonbeam hits it. For some reason, the muzzle is glowing softly, even though you just fired the one, all of it. It's just... No, it's perfect. And you guys are, well, on the inside of this here,
We've done it.
ship now.
I can tell you, as soon as I saw him shoot the Glock and they're both up on the deck,
Yeah.
I'm hitting the
Yeah.
gas to get him away from whatever he's shooting
Yeah.
at.
Mm-hmm.
And I will aid him in whatever he needs.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, everybody's inside. You guys can pick a direction. The navigational equipment in the boat is currently functioning because it currently has power and fuel. The radio works. I mean, everything is, 5x5. It looks like there are about 10 days of rations for the 4 of you on here. You could probably stretch them to 16 food and water-wise were you to immediately begin getting half food and water intake, which of course is a vigor roll daily versus fatigue.
I asked Mike if he knows how to run that radio.
I'm sure I can figure it out. I have a feeling that we're not going to get anything on it.
A birdie tells me.
The radios on the cruise ship were state of the art. These are, maybe we'll get a ham operator on the coast, but
Well, the radios on the cruise ship were grenaded. So,
right.
Hopefully
But before
these
that, they
function.
didn't work. Other than local area.
Yeah, and our phones weren't working cell service wise, so that's already out the window. I mean, it's better than doing nothing. So like I said, I'll help with whatever I can do. I'm gonna make sure to get Sean dried off and warm so she's like not in shock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in fact, Sean, I am gonna need another spirit roll. Man, that was a lot. That was just a lot. You
Just
almost
straight.
died in like my top 5 nightmare way. Oh wait, just drifting at sea
Yeah.
until I slip underneath the waves? Cool, no. Or get
No,
predated
that is
upon, you
literally
know.
my number one fear. So
Yeah.
no in
Yeah,
oceans.
no,
Because,
fuck all
yeah,
of that, yeah.
Oh fuck.
I guess I'll study the radar and see if
Alright.
there's anything I see on it.
Do we
No.
have any visibility of the sky? Is
No,
it
not,
all-
it's all cloud cover. I mean, there's a swirling vortex of hurricane currently.
That's a good
Well, you know what the
question.
ship does have? A standby compass, which is a standard magnetic compass.
Mm-hmm.
So we are gonna head.
Oh, and,
north-
I mean, I did not, the
west.
GPS works.
Oh,
No, all the instruments, navigation-wise, it's not like the satellites have gone out, you know?
well,
like,
where the hell are we, Will?
well, it looks to you, oh shit, well, no, I'm not gonna give you the actual coords, but, you are about 250 miles off the coast of Florida.
South, south or just south?
No, mid-north
West,
Florida.
southeast?
Mid-Florida, I guess, if you were going, yeah.
So
Okay.
closer to Daytona.
Yeah,
So we're east off the coast of Florida.
you were,
200
if you were to go due west, you would run into Florida, yeah, mid-Florida, about Daytona, yeah.
Where do we
Alright.
want to go?
I think we have a direction.
Question. So I know it's a hurricane, and
Mm-hmm.
I guess what are standard procedure for a boat in a hurricane?
Don't
Don't
be
be
in a
there.
hurricane. That's
Well,
Don't-
yes,
don't.
but I'm saying what is backup plan? Like, do you leave the boat off? Do you leave it on? I know there's certain.
No, you leave the engine on and the wave's coming at you. You pretty much head towards the wave so you crest it
Right.
before it can crest you.
you always
Exactly.
want to take head on, right? Because if you catch one sideways, you'll capsize. And if you capsize, there's just no way that wheelchair is making it to land. I'm just sorry. It's too much. So somebody will need to be
Yeah.
piloting the boat at all times. Now there's the second issue of fuel. Fuel gauge is reading half fuel. Now I have no idea personally what half fuel is on a World War II era crash boat, but I will guarantee you it is not 250 nautical miles through hurricane force waves. So, another little coinkydink to consider there. There is absolutely no way that this boat powered is making it back to the United States. Now that isn't to say that, I mean, there are trade winds, right? There are tidal flow, there's all kinds of shit. You know, hurricane blowing, you can set yourself in the right direction, all kinds of stuff you can do to improve your odds. But, yeah, there's no way that this whole thing
Sounds
is
like
going to have
we're-
power.
Sounds like we're going to Nova Scotia on the
Right?
the current.
8 years later, the undead threat has resolved itself. A fisherman
survived
off the
that.
waters off of Reykjavik sees a floating PT boat with the skeletal remains. Well, no, you guys would be zombies because, I mean, it wouldn't be soft. Ooh, that'd be spooky. Ghost ships would be real ghost ships for so long. You just never know, you know? But, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the best option here is to assess what we have on the boat, make sure that we're not going to get capsized if we can help it, and we definitely want to head west. There's no like.
I do have a question. Do we would have seen this hurricane on the news before we got on the boat, right? We would have known kind of.
No, because then we wouldn't have got on the boat.
Is this what was this hurricane tracking before we left? Was it heading?
Up the coast
North, or
of
was it
Florida
heading-
into the Carolinas was the,
So do we want to try to head south
Now,
west to
Bowser,
let the hurricane pass north?
you just brought to bear a fascinating point, right? Like, why would the cruise ship go directly. Oh, is it the insurance scam again? Bum, bum, bum. Convenient cover, right? Oh, the storm changed. There was a navigational error, you know. But
Yeah, the problem is if we don't know the tracking, hurricanes can do a bunch of stuff down by the Gulf, and you know.
But they almost always head north. If it's on the
Almost
East
always.
Coast, it'll head
yeah, last report
always head north.
was that it was going to do just like the last one did. You know, it's going to hit the Florida coast. It's going to go up the Carolinas, moves a bunch of steam.
Yep.
Which,
So
I mean, honestly,
head west and southwest.
if you head west, right, and then you count on the, you know, the force of nature carrying you with the hurricane, there's a chance you make it just under power of the forces of nature and your limited fuel to somewhere on the west. I mean, you might not make it to Daytona or whatever, but...
Right. All I'm saying is with the fuel situation, directly west is the closest land.
Facts, yeah. Well, and the fact that, you know, despite GPS and all that, I don't think any of you have the navigational chops to be like, nah, we'll hit one of these island chains, man. You know, that's just, no. You want oh, look, it's land as far as you can see.
Right.
The impossible to miss land, yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong, I'd rather go to, like, the Outer Banks.
Right,
That's a little ways out of the way.
So, guys, we are going to fast forward this horrific scene here. 16 days.
Oh, jeez.
You had 14 days of supplies with rationing.
We ate the bodies.
You are now, you have 110-degree fever.
We know.
Mary, it's time to put him down. So I need, from everybody, 2 back-to-back vigor rolls.
Okay.
Fortunately, Sean got her fatigue removed initially, but, oh!
Skids.
Sorry for everyone.
Do I
else.
use the last
Jesus
penny on
fuck,
shit.
Sean!
Jeez.
Did you just roll a
Hey!
27 on a D4?
Sean's not dying today.
Did you, like, break
Damn
into
it.
the cocaine supply? That
No.
Yes.
Sean actually found all this.
I'm just feeling so hyped right now. I don't know what it is. I just want to take my
She
shirt
found
off.
the secret
I'm spending
stash
a penny
of
on that
MREs.
second one.
Yeah. She's just been eating like ham and cheese, you know, straight out the self-heating pack in the bathroom, unbeknownst to the rest of you. Man, Skib, that is, I mean, you could, oh, no, you can't because you are literally out of bennies. The trip and the lack of supplies, man, they hit him hard.
I am a fat man.
Yeah, you are a fat man,
I need my sugars.
Let's see, and Sean with the 27, your first, again, you found some MREs and did not share. I don't know, that just removed your fucking negative. 27 on a D4.
Just going full
It just kept going.
Full
It just,
Gollum,
it
like-
wouldn't stop.
All the, like, little
Like in the
minnows
corner.
that land on the
Alright,
ridiculous.
that's ridiculous.
Over here with a set
Right,
of
yeah,
chopsticks,
no,
like-
it's her experience with IMF. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait
She
a minute,
ate
when
the
they're
rest
gonna
of the
sink
stool
this ship
covers.
purposefully in a hurricane? There's all this crap about no one's supposed to get hurt. Lifeboats. No, this isn't a lifeboat. This is the boat that the special ops folks brought here to perform their mission, and it's only half fueled because old boy clipped the fuel line when he shot the Zed that you know, appeared on the ship. After I imagine he listened to the horrifying radio broadcasts and the, you know.
Yeah,
That's
this
the
is like some
backup lifeboat.
Vietnam shit.
But, you guys, after over 2 weeks, finally come out on the bow of the ship to do your business, right? And there's a seagull sitting on it, right? And then you look up and there's birds and oh yeah, dive over the
shoot
edge
it.
for the seagull, just drinking its blood straight up. No, and
I do shoot it.
Dinner!
Ozzy
Dinner!
Osbourne just
you guys see a coastline. Yeah. Looks like the tide is bringing you in.
Drew knows what's up.
Drew does know. Mike shoots the bird. Yeah.
There you
So-
go.
Catch it. Oh,
Jeez.
The sun is high overhead. Only a few stray clouds. The ship gently rises and lowers on the current. It's a kind of warm breeze at this point, right? You're not, we're into fall, but it's post-hurricane. You know how that brings that unseasonal kind of warmness, humidity. Seems like an August kind of afternoon almost. The GPS went offline with the power from the batteries that went offline about 2 days after the engine died. It's a system feeds into itself. So you have no fucking clue where this is, other than to say that it is America, and doesn't look quite, I don't want to say tropical, but it doesn't look Florida. It looks north of that a little.
All right. Well, I've been to all of the states from Florida up through.
My God, you recognize
All
this
of them.
marina. It's the one you had lunch at that one time in 2007. No. But you do, in fact, drift. It's true. It might shoot the coastline. I wouldn't put it. I wouldn't put it past him. But
No.
yeah, you guys. The boat kind of settles itself on a pebbly beach. It's not quite beached. In and out of the tide there. You're a couple of 100 feet away from a marina with a sign that says Calm Seas Marina. Couple of 20-foot sailboats in it, no cars in the parking lot, no people around, no undead.
Oh, thank God.
Is it no movement at all?
Nothing that you can see, no.
I'm so fucking sick of being in the water.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. That's
I'm never getting on a boat again. Ever.
I'm gonna hand out a little bottle of whiskey to everyone if they want to take a shot.
so is there
Oh,
Oh shit, I got my
on this
vodka
marina?
bottles. Yes.
This is a celebration.
Sirenscape just crashed. We'll have to kick on the sound effects again here after the break, because that is after it crashes. I have to literally reset all these virtual audio cables, which is it's a ton of fun. But so you guys are on the shore, and you have to just imagine the waves. God damn it, wave sound effects for this. Lapping, marina, birds going. Calm, soothing. Nice day. It gives you a kind of a sense of normalcy, in fact. After everything that's been going on, solid ground. It's not like any
Is
of these
there a
buildings are
diner?
actively on fire.
Hmm.
And did we float right up to a dock?
No, you're a
Like,
couple
within
100 feet
reach?
down the beach from a dock.
Okay.
Right. And the boat has beached itself.
Ish. I mean, you'd have
Kinda.
to drag it,
Right.
get out. But yeah, you guys can get
That's-
out, and
that's what
you're
we
in
do.
like ankle deep water. Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Is
need to help
there, like-
Mary.
Yeah. Is there any kind of debris or something that we can or like I don't know how we can make a little raft to put her chair on?
What would
We
We
can just
On a
carry
work
it.
floater?
best?
We can carry her. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not like
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
it's
what would
on
work
ankle
best
deep
if
water.
if we take off the wheels, we can carry the wheels up.
Okay.
So it's not in the water. That's the electronic part.
I think y'all are
Um,
overthinking this. You could just get her on the bow of the ship, slip her legs over, and then there's, it's pebbles and sand. It's, there are waves in the back, in the front half of the ship. You guys pulled it up. It's
Yeah, it's not a very tall ship. I was able
No.
to reach over and grab Sean. So
no, I mean it's a little
how
tiny.
heavy
Yeah,
is the chair?
she said 60 pounds, I think,
Oh,
64 or
I'll
something
carry
like that.
that.
Oh, okay.
Mike can carry you, and Sean can follow.
Excellent. Where are you guys going?
Sean's gonna Sean.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show.
Off this fucking boat.
Well, I mean, I would
Well, I
hope.
vote.
No, all right, this is our home now. Let's push it back
Yeah.
out to sea. We're fine.
Fuck this
There's
place.
marina. Is there a diner or a shop?
Is
or
there
it
a
just
gun
the two
store?
sailboats?
Yeah, no, there's a gun store that says never been looted on the front, right across the street there. It's just actually, it's 10 feet away from the free unlocked tanks emporium, so that's crazy. Yeah.
Well,
What?
Wow, what our luck.
What luck? No.
Yeah.
No, there's a
we must
marina.
be
Yeah,
delirious.
the marina has a ground floor restaurant, right? It looks like a 2-story deal.
Oh, that's where we're going. Food.
Mhm.
Food.
Describe to me the manner in which you're going. Carelessly, making a lot of
Yeah.
noise.
As
Yeah,
loud as we
obviously.
can. I'm shooting
Being
an
like-
MP5 in the air, fully automatic. No,
Oh, okay.
I've
Just checking.
you know,
You know what we
Mike
could
and I
do
have
is we
both
could check
done
those-
tactical movements before.
Are you
Okay,
clearing the
good.
parking lot then from one side to the other,
I was
sweeping?
actually thinking clearing the sailboats because they'll have galleys too.
Yeah.
Probably have people, possibly too. But
Yeah, I'm thinking the diner will have like bulk food items, you know,
Mhm.
of some sort,
Okay.
rice or potatoes or something.
Well, there are no husks in the parking lot or the vicinity, or no living people either. The doors
No
to
cars,
the
even,
marina, no
right?
cars, 0 vehicles. The doors to the marina are unlocked, and it is dark inside.
I think
Does
we
anyone
should
have a
not
flag?
use. Oh, sorry, what?
Got
So does anyone
flare.
have a flashlight? A flare?
Flare,
I mean, I have my phone. I have my phone. I can use that.
Been keeping it charged, playing games.
I have battery packs on my
Mm.
inventory.
What time of day is it?
It's
Okay.
mid-afternoon. You would guess, 2, 3, something like that.
All right, so we have a lot of natural light.
Yeah, from the exterior. The inside is dark in that there's no lights on, nothing like that. On the ground floor, you
So-
can certainly see.
It's not dark. It's just not.
It
lit.
is dim. It is -1 to shooting rolls, but not lit. Yeah,
Okay.
it's not like pitch black.
There's no lights. There's no
yeah,
electricity.
it's just natural lighting coming in from the few windows on the mostly around the diner part of the front of the marina.
I'm gonna walk around the like
All
the
right, well,
windowed
I'll
area.
open up the door and
Yeah, why don't we open it?
let
and
let
just
the
come-
let the door breathe for a second,
Yeah,
just to see if we hear any sound.
you do not hear any sounds, but I mean the tables are turned over, the shelves are, the doors on the coolers are broken, like the glass was kicked in, like the place has been ransacked and then some.
Yeah. Is there anything else in the immediate vicinity? Gas station.
It looks like this is an offshoot, and that it would be a couple of miles down one of those little 2-way highways to an urban center. There are like there's sparse housing. You know what I'm saying? Like there are rural properties in the area, but no, there isn't like you're not like a couple of blocks away from small town anything at this point.
Okay.
Has everything been completely looted from the kitchen area? Or is there, like,
From what you
We
can
would
see
have to
from where
go
you
in,
are
right?
standing, you'd have to go to like into the stock room, right?
okay.
Like from
I
where
mean,
he opened the
I-
door, he opened the door, he lit the light in, listened for noise, everything he could see was just ransacked there. It hasn't been thoroughly investigated at this point.
I mean, we
I
need.
I draw my
food.
gun at
Yeah.
this point.
Yeah, well, of course, I would hope you did.
Uh,
Yeah.
I'm drawing my gun at this point, and
I'm gonna walk the perimeter and
Entry.
look to see if I see any movement.
You do not see any movement. Give me a tracking survival.
Fuck.
Yep. Damn. Why do you have 2 points? Oh, did I give Bowser the fatigue and not Skeba? Whoopsie doodle.
I
That's
was
not very nice.
Okay.
There we go. But
Alright.
you still failed.
Yeah,
Well,
there
no.
we go.
Yeah, you still failed. So never mind. Yeah, you don't notice anything out of the ordinary. Skiba, there is a stockroom. Electricity's out. Phone is dead. Doesn't click. Doesn't do anything. Right. Looks like all the utilities have been out for a minute, given the coolers aren't cool. All right, what little containers of food in there are rotted at this point. It's been a couple of weeks. It looks like at least a week since the power went out from your powers of deduction. There is a stockroom in the back that seems similarly looted, and then a door that leads to a basement.
I want to use something to like prop the doors open.
Yeah,
Like
sure.
a chair or
Yeah, any old thing.
Okay.
Keep the light in. Yeah.
Okay.
Give a quick
Mhm.
mode of egress. Yep.
Mhm.
I
Are
can
there any
watch.
kitchen knives or anything like that?
That's what I was gonna ask next.
Yeah, certainly.
Loot in the kitchen area.
Yeah.
For
Can we?
Yeah, there's a single knife set, chef knife, butcher or cleaver, paring knife.
I'd pass
Maybe
them out.
a nice serrated bread knife.
Is there like a sawed-off shotgun under the counter?
Oh yeah, of course. No, the
I mean, we're in Florida or
Right
somewhere
next
close.
to the pack of
right?
dynamite.
right. No, it's true. No, and the anti-zombie spray. You forgot the.
Yep. I will stand at the top of the stairs to the basement.
Oh well, nobody has mentioned even opening that door yet. So, and where you
Yeah.
were just outside doing
Maybe-
patrols. Now
Well,
you ran in there.
I'm coming in.
I heard basement. Is that what we're getting at? All right, yeah. Yeah, okay.
Can we listen
There's
at the door?
there's 4 people in here, or 3 people in here. I walk in, I
Yeah,
know exactly
mhm.
where they're at.
Right. No,
I
I
walk
get
back
it.
with my gun out.
Yeah, you can listen at the door to the basement. You don't hear anything.
Was there any like food supplies up on the first floor at least?
No, I mean
Or
it
is it all
ripped.
just
Not even a
solid?
bottle of water. Everything has been taken.
Oh, okay. Basement.
That's what's pointing. I think we need
Yeah,
to
but we don't
look
have any
out up
fire.
here.
We don't have
and
any light.
You need light source
Mhm.
to take
I'll
that to the
hand them my phone.
That's an excellent man. That has never gone poorly in the history of anything flashlight, phone, firearm, basement combo. But so who is at the top of the basement stairs?
I am there and staying there.
You were there.
not going
Skibba,
into
you were
basement.
there. Sean,
Yeah.
where are you?
I feel like I'd be I don't know. where
Outside
I'd
picking
be the best-
daisies,
I was-
just like this isn't happening, this isn't
Yeah.
happening. Yeah.
I was planning on being
I
lookout.
want to be cooking. That's what I want to be doing.
You're gonna be a lookout?
Yeah, I'll be
Alright,
lookout.
does that mean lookout outside of the business, the marina, or are you lookout? Where are you looking out from? I need specificity.
Yeah, so you guys are at the basement, right?
They're in a stockroom in the back of the
Okay.
marina that has a door that appears to lead to a basement. Yes.
My plan was to watch so with how the marina office is set up, is there like windows like open?
Just
Like-
the restaurant area has the open windows. There's a little back,
my-
like till manager office, but that doesn't have windows. The
My
bathrooms
plan was
don't have
basically
windows.
to sit in like the restaurant area,
Okay.
so I'm at least behind a wall,
Sure.
and looking at people incoming.
Okay, that's fine.
And I'll do my head on a swivel to make sure like those two aren't dead and walking towards me. But
Skibba, Bowser, is one of you gonna open that door?
Oh yeah, I mean I'll open it once Mike's ready and we got our
Who's gonna
guns
be the
up.
canary?
But I want to open up the door again, let it breathe.
All right.
just to see if I hear
Speaking
anything.
of letting it breathe, I am going to need a fear nausea check at a -2
Oof.
when the smell of that basement hits you like a solid wall of rotted carcass.
What is that check?
Guts?
Aren't we supposed to have guts?
At
Yeah,
a
Yeah.
at a
Four.
D4.
Mhm.
I
And
apparently
regular
didn't add it.
zombie song.
He didn't
Us.
add. Oh, I guess you don't. Man, fired.
All right.
No guts for you. Oh well, Sean, I didn't need it from you. You weren't at the top of the stairs there.
Well, I'm.
They
I'm
just smell it.
kinda-
You're outside.
yeah.
You're fine right now.
Okay.
Excellent. Oh boy, Bowser.
Nothing I haven't smelled before.
Right. Ba-da-da-da.
Thanky.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. No, it's not the fear. It's the nausea. Fear, nausea. You know what? You just puke up bile because you haven't had anything in your stomach for 2 days. Just dry heave bile. Wet.
Just that
Just
whiskey
that.
I had.
Oh yeah. Well, and the MREs you were hiding too, of course, because everybody had a
Yeah.
pocket MRE. Your least favorite, though, whatever that was. A spaghetti. I don't know. But
Yeah.
the
I remember my favorites, not my least favorites.
I was partial to the ham, but
Chili Mac is bar none the best.
that's true
MRE.
actually. The chili mac. I mean, mind you, it's been 15 years since I've eaten an MRE, so I don't. I'm assuming they're still what they were 15 years ago, but
They're 100% the exact same.
oh my god, no! It's literally been
They never
20
change.
years, 21 years since I've had an MRE. But yeah, I get the feeling that I have eaten them. But yeah, no, this is just like, have you ever had a freezer go off, and
Mhm.
you open that thing and it was like 6 weeks ago that it went off, right? And you're just hit with like, oh wow, I'm surprised that decomposing gases didn't erupt outward and blow the thing before I opened it. Yeah, no, it's that. It's just a wall of stench.
So I handle most of the evictions for my county.
Yeah.
And one of my standing rules for any crew that's doing the eviction is they do not touch the refrigerator until we are done and I'm out of the
Oh
building.
yeah. Oh yeah. No, that just makes total sense. Yeah. No, I lived in some shitty places with some crazy ass shared housing roommate sitches. There were a couple of those situations where I don't use that fridge, man. I don't open it, I don't close it. But other humans did. That was the fucked up part. They still stored their food in there. I'm like, after a certain point, that's I mean, just leave it out. Just leave it out. It's just the fucking same. Just leave it out. But yeah, no. And then a few moments after you open the door, you hear a little moan, like they heard the door.
But not like a people sound. Like
Definitely not a people sound. Well, I mean, don't be livest. I mean, they're still people.
Are they? No, that's the.
Who are the
that's
real
moral
monsters?
dilemma.
Six Gun Mary, Bloody Mary.
I'm going to tell you right now, just hearing that
Yeah.
would completely just dishearten me.
Yeah, it seems like there was still maybe
there's always
chance.
that hope that when we got hope. There's always that hope when we got back to the mainland or wherever we were that, it was a fluke.
Yeah. You shine your light down the stairs, and there are 4 figures assembled at the bottom. They're struggling to figure out stairs, right? Like, clearly not posing a threat to you. Give me a notice roll. Excellent. Soliding out. Perfect, Bowser. Thank you for keeping the never winning a notice roll alive. I can't believe when you said I'm going out on the spotlight to find Sean, I said, well, she's dead. That's fucking all right. Great. Fantastic tactical thinking. But
no. I use them when they're really important.
Right, that's what it is. Skibba, these 4 individuals are all wearing an identical t-shirt that says Calm Seas Marina. It's a nice white polo shirt with a blue stripe, and it has the Marina logo on it. And each one of them appears to have been killed by a gunshot wound, or several. They're already, thoracic vault plugged.
One of the Were there any flag poles in the restaurant area? Just a long pole.
A long pole? No, not. I mean, there's a flagpole out front, because marinas do that. But that's.
Yeah, and I'm not talking about the huge pole. I'm thinking more just a standee,
Oh no,
something that can with reach.
no, we're a little far off.
I want.
Well, I guess it is kind of. No,
Is there
no,
a
not
broom
Veterans Day.
handle?
No.
A broom.
Well, all right. So, are you trying to just like
Okay.
poke them with a stick right now? Is that what I'm getting?
Yeah, I'm well.
He's gonna make a spear.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a
So,
spear
uh,
and have reach while
yeah,
I'm on top of the stairs
you
and
could
down.
definitely fashion a spear out of a mop handle for sure. Yeah. I mean, the only problem is that it's an improvised weapon still, according to the Suede rule. So you get a -1 when attacking with it, but it will. I mean, it'll put you at 2 paces. They can't make it up the stairs. I don't even really need fighting rolls. If you go through and fashion a spear, you can just sit there and plug them in the head. That's fine.
Cut
Mind
them
you,
off at the end.
Yeah,
a wooden spear, human skulls, you're going to be at it for a second.
Well,
But
I was mainly thinking about just my survival knife taped to the end of it and fashion it that
I
way.
like where this
Set
is
it in
going.
Right.
it in the sphere.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I mean that yeah. No, you can definitely take those 4 guys out. Is that what you're going to be in the middle of?
Yes, that is, and I want to do it at reach, so we don't make any noise or anything like that.
You guys hear a single gunshot, large caliber, ring out. Local. Definitely within a half mile.
Oh shit.
Another shot rings out. Single shot, not a burst, Same distance.
Sounds like somebody else is out here.
Yeah, I wanna like look through the windows and see if I can see where, like, from where I heard it, where it's coming.
Give me a notice roll.
Okay.
Yeah, Sean. I mean, you
Sean sees it.
generally.
Now I get all these raises.
Right. Yeah. Now
Shit.
you're not
Mary
drowning.
sees it.
Right. Yeah. No. You guys both. You got your head snaps with the second shot. You have a pretty fair. Now it's hard to tell particular, right? I mean, you got there's lots of trees in the area, right?
Mhm.
Like you got the ocean noises, but generally, like if you were to say I had to pick a compass direction, you know where those shots came from.
Mhm.
Skiba, you get done with your your work. They didn't put up
Alright.
any. I mean, they,
That's kind of the
Yep.
we like the shamblers.
Also,
So
remember, everybody here has had enough experience now to use tricks against the undead, meaning it's an opposed smarts roll. Their smarts versus your smarts to lure them someplace, to distract them, to do, as long as you can describe it and it isn't ludicrous, right? Like, and you nail the smarts roll, you can trick these. And again, there are varying. We've only really encountered the baby 2. Well, we haven't encountered the babies at all, but that's another thing.
Oh, come on.
Yay, babies.
I didn't even write that one. There is a special set of conditions that you guys will encounter that might create horrific little sprinting baby zombies, but we're not gonna. I literally didn't even write that. I literally, I read that and I was like, oh lord, like yeah, no, no. So yeah, only spoiler, I'm giving 3 different zombie types, but yeah, there may or may not be little tiny umbilical hordes still hanging off there.
Zombabies?
Yeah, no,
Are they
yeah.
zombabies?
Yeah, they're zombabies, yeah.
Zombabes.
But, yeah, I imagine you heard the shots too. Let's say you get the last one in the face, right? You hear the first shot ring out, second shot ring out. Nobody screams or anything. They do seem distant. It's up to you, the amount of urgency that instills in you.
I want to go down and just kind of yell, hey, Mikes, we got company. Not very loud, just kind of.
With exactly the volume needed to alert them and only them, so that your voice didn't carry even 1 square further away on the game map. Hey man, it's better shit-faced, Leroy, so by all means, bar hop and watch the stream. But,
Yeah.
Is this
Yeah.
basement only one room?
yeah, it's just one room. It's, so, there is some broken fishing equipment. There is, oh lord, some, a couple of,
Absolutely taking the twine. The
yeah,
line.
fishing line, right? And
What
I mean,
about,
it's on the coast, so I mean, it's like 50-pound test, you know? Like, it is substantial, fishing line, so good grab there. And I would say you probably have 500 feet of it in a reel. I don't know. I mean, 300 feet deep sea fishing. I mean, they're huge.
Oh, I don't think we need.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll take it. I mean,
Yeah,
I
you can
guess
take the
is there
reel.
We'll take
You know?
anything.
is there a tackle box or a backpack or?
No backpack or anything like that, and none of the fishing equipment is like fully functional. This is just a reel on a busted pole. There are some life preservers. There are some emergency road flares.
We'll take those.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
just empty boxes. It looks like people went through here and looted everything mostly already. So
Is there
I
any
ha-
like empty cans or
I checked the
empty
Shambler's
cans.
pockets.
yeah,
I mean,
like
there's some trash up top. A set of keys, a wallet, right? $20.
How about a Bic lighter?
You know what? What did I
Looking for
say? There were
lighters.
4 of them.
Any of them smokers?
Man, with the
Yeah.
prevalence of vaping right now, though, out of 4, how about this? Give me a
Okay.
D20 and on a 16 and up. One of them has a lighter on him. Nope.
Okay. well,
Nope.
Not even pot. No pots. No.
Well, not at work, bro.
anything.
And besides, man, I mean, you gotta get out of the past, Sister Bear, man. You don't want that smoke in your lungs. It'll give you pneumonia.
Hell, the restaurant might have a lighter near it if it hasn't been looted.
No, I mean, everything, like, I would feel fortunate that there were road flares and fishing line here. I mean, this place has been ransacked like a motherfucker. Now, and so let's think about it, right? Like, you're a random individual, right? People are turning violent and eating other people, and you need supplies, right? I am not going to go to downtown Fort Worth. I'm going the opposite direction, right? I'm going to hit these small little fuck all businesses out in the middle of nowhere that might have 2 people in them, you know, like. So if you were a thinking person that was really applying or lived locally, right, like, it would definitely make sense that this place would just be torn up.
There are so many freaking tool sheds in the subdivision.
Oh yeah, you'll get there. I know you're not subdivision. This is rural. These houses are on some acreage, right? But you couldn't be far from an urban center. I mean, you're on the East Coast. What is it, 15 miles at most from one to another down the whole fucking eastern seaboard? Like,
is there any like empty like Coke cans or like Sprite cans?
I mean, there's like trash, yeah.
I'm just thinking for like things that we could use as distraction mechanisms or like making a alarm system.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely
I wanna
gather up
collect.
enough refuge between that and the fishing line to give yourself a little, you know, rattle trip line sitch if that's what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
How many road flares did we get?
3.
Hey, speaking along the lines of, like, you could get some. Is there any grease left in the fryer?
Yeah, no, yeah, the deep fryer grease. I mean, mind you, it's been static now for what, 2 weeks, at least 3 weeks, probably. It's been sitting there.
I'm just thinking of fuel for burning.
Mm-hmm.
Get some of these tablecloths. Use
For
them as
bandages.
rags.
Yeah, by all means, all of that is sensical. You can gather up the congealed fat from the fryer. Well, it wouldn't be solid. They use, well, now I don't know. A little marina here might actually use this. We'll call it solid fat just for easier storage sake. How about that? So you could spoon that into like an old pickle jar or something. Get yourself a pickle jar of fat. I'd say you guys could
No,
store 4.
I just don't have any place to carry it.
Exactly.
I have a
Yeah.
backpack.
Yeah, I
I
think
do,
Mary
too.
and Mike both have backpacks. Yeah.
All right.
And I mean, the second you get to a town, or
Like I had mine too.
you
but
were swimming with a backpack on.
I know. I don't know. I
Oh
don't
my
know. I have
God!
it in my inventory.
It should have been a
So I don't.
-4. That whole you dead.
I don't
Retroactively,
have it
Sean
then.
died. She's like 200 feet underwater right now.
Oh, I'm gonna
Yeah, I don't
say
have
every.
it.
I'm now looking at my inventory, going, I didn't take any of that stuff with me on the boat. I
Yeah.
wasn't
Right?
walking
Yeah,
around
we
with a
might need to
backpack and a
take a second
camera and a
over here.
computer.
I'm just gonna
Yeah,
clean
no,
my other
That's
shit
why
out.
the first episode I said I need to go to my room
Mary
and
was
get my stuff.
literally the only person to specify that I need to go get my medicine bag and did so, like immediately. She was literally the only person. Now, we were going to get Sean her diazepam or whatever, but that didn't shake
Well,
out.
that
I
would
don't
be
think so.
worth it now, cause
I have hydroxyzine. I've got other stuff. It's okay.
But yeah, another gunshot rings out. Same distance, same caliber.
Yeah,
What
I
do you
don't
think
say
they're
we
trying to
walk.
do? Just target practice?
No,
I
I mean
don't
they
know.
could just be, killing them as they come. But I know I definitely don't want to go in that direction.
I don't either. I think we should go another way, but I don't think having them come up from behind is going to be a good idea either.
Does it sound like a rifle that they're shooting?
Yes. Yeah, that caliber for sure.
And
Hunting?
it's getting closer.
No, same distance. It hasn't increased in rate or anything. It's not like there's been a tight grouping of shots. Just every now and then, blow.
Maybe it's just a farm, local farm
Right.
person who's just kind of hitting these walkers.
I
Well,
mean,
if we can hear it, so everybody else though.
and so can all the walkers, the infected. That's
husks.
Everybody, give me a notice roll.
okay.
Bowser, an 11?
Look out.
You just wasted like 9 of your other rolls. Excellent. And you hear a train.
Choo choo.
No. You notice with this next rifle shot that birds take flight.
Okay, we need to go.
No, it's the same distance. It's just from that direction you can see that it can't be, but I don't know, 2,000 feet maybe. Birds took off on that one out of the top of a tree.
Around us. So why don't we kind of barricade the door a little bit and just keep him watch out the window? Because I'm going to tell you right now, with the sunshine up like this, those windows are probably reflecting. He won't be able to see us inside if it's somebody coming this way.
Well, now again, I can't reiterate enough, right? These gunshots having transpired now over a series of minutes do not seem to be getting any closer or any further away.
Like
Oh,
this
okay.
is the
I
time
thought
to
when you
move.
said the birds take flight.
Oh, well, no,
the
the bird you see now, quite specifically, instead of just the general compass point, right? Oh, why would a group of birds take off immediately after the crack unless it was
So
right
we could
there?
go the opposite way.
You very well could.
Which
think
direction, like cardinal direction, are these shots coming from?
They would be coming from the southeast.
Okay. So north for us?
Yeah, northwest.
And one of the things that, is there any kind of description, like if looking at the trash around the counter or something like that, a paper saying what city this marina's in?
Look at this. Look at the phone. See if it has the phone number on it.
Oh, not only that, the score, the health code score.
All right, now fuck all of you.
Tell us where we are.
Every single one of you. You are in town in Carolina. Give me 1 second. Damn it. You guys are supposed to find this out from other things, but that's fine.
We're in the Bible Belt.
Yeah,
Shit.
no, you are in Fairpoint, North Carolina, which is about 50 miles east of Jacksonville.
I used to live in Jacksonville. We should go
Fairpoint
there.
is a fictional town. So don't bother Googling it, you bitches.
I was like gonna ask.
We should go
I
to
thought that
Jacksonville.
was-
There are multiple Marine Corps bases there. Just putting that out.
Yeah, and
But
I'm
it's
sure
like
the
a big
Marines
city,
are
right?
totally not. Everything is so kosher there, you know? Not gonna be a, you know.
I'll pull out my ID. We'll be fine.
God, how
Yeah.
did we end up in North Carolina? Jesus.
Yeah.
Perfect weather. It's great
Perfect
here.
weather. It was a beautiful. Yeah, you just done. Done.
Yeah,
Just get up in the mountains, hunt some
I lived in
squirrels.
Charlotte when I was a kid, but damn.
I lived in Jacksonville multiple times in my life. And, I don't know. I vote we go there.
Go
How big is the city?
But,
I'm gonna
I mean,
tell
it's
her-
a city.
It's not
Well,
super big.
Wouldn't we want to avoid it? Because that's where, like, urban places.
Everybody has a
Are-
different idea about this. Also,
Yeah, I'm gonna let you know right now that
I want you guys to do me a solid this week, right? At some point, I just want you to Google nuclear power plants in the American Southeast. Just do that
It's
for
crazy.
me. Just Google it.
Okay.
Just take a gander. Because every single one of them definitely would have been shut down 100% by the book, by dedicated civil servants. You know, there would be nothing terrible has happened in the American Southeast, or in the rest of America for that matter, because this is still a very isolated incident. But as part of your homework over the next week, just nuclear power plants, you know, America Southeast. Did you know Georgia, for instance, gets a full 20% of its power from 2 nuclear facilities? Well,
I knew that.
yeah. But, da 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 da. So, saying that the marina is a dead end is a bit of a tasteless pun, right? But, accurate, right? Whatever happened here while you guys were aboard the Pinnacle, the place has been completely looted and trashed. You haven't encountered many of the husks here, right? Just 4, right? That's respectable, but still, that means they're on land. Unfortunately, the manner in which they were slain would seem to indicate that, oh boy, those people were rounded up in the marina basement and executed, weren't they? That's what happened there. Oh, well, the undead don't generally do that, so that's, uh-oh.
That's why we got a GTFO away from these
Seems
guys.
to,
Looters.
yeah, looters,
They're the worst.
society falling apart, random crime, world gone insane. I mean, there are so many possible scenarios. And Drew, there is a scram, but there are several scenarios in which you can go to hell. But, we are going to take a 5-minute break because we are at the midpoint here. And then we are going to continue with the rest of this evening's adventure. Yeah, it's been going good so far. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Please stick with us. If you like what you see, please hit that follow button. I swear to God, I'm normally a little more cogent than this. You'll have to forgive me. I literally, yesterday was the last antibiotic in my coughing up blood pneumonia antibiotic regimen. So I'm kind of surprised I'm even here right now. But please stick with us through this 5-minute break and tell your friends about how dedicated I am. Wow. Coughing up blood and then does a show about the zombies, where his players conspire to fuck him over all the time with factual information. But we will be right back, and yeah, thanks guys. Where is that be right back? Oh my goodness. Gotta take a second, cause clearly a maniac. I do have a be right back, don't I? Play screen, there it is. And we are back. Thank you for sticking with us, loyal viewers. That's right, a hurricane without redundancies. That was what did it. It was the hurricane that swept across actually an unprecedented level of destruction. Category 6 hurricane. Wreaking whatever amount of narrative havoc is required in the moment. Fortunately, the area in the woods around the marina seems blissfully untouched. As does the woods around Chernobyl. So, any of you carrying a Geiger meter? No? No? It's fine. North Carolina actually is not a... Jacksonville gets all its power from solar. What? Fuck that. Ruining plot devices! Jacksonville, North Carolina. How dare you be all progressive and sustainable. Not that nuclear isn't really progressive or sustainable too, but that's a debate for another show.
Progressive, sustainable.
Well, all we gotta do is fire the waste into the sun. I don't understand what the problem is. If we launch it from like a third world country, right?
Oh my god.
Did you know, and this is probably way out of left field, but
Is it?
launching anything to the sun is actually incredibly difficult because of the way that orbits work.
I did, well,
Like
you can launch a decaying orbit. Everything, if you fire it towards the sun, will eventually make it into the sun.
Yeah, you have to leave the Earth's gravitational field.
Right.
But to actually get it to fall into the sun and then
yeah, for sure. I've played a lot of Kerbal Space Program.
Me too. And then, anyway, sorry.
I mean, I have a base on Duna. I'm not trying to be that guy, but I bring research back from Duna manually, so yeah. Moving on. Oh my god, Kerbal Space Program 2. Oh my god. Okay, cough. Zombies, people are dying, it's horrific. Husks, that's right, husks. So you guys are traveling away from the sound of the intermittent gunfire then? Of the single caliber same shot. So headed north along the little 2-lane road that covers the coastline as well.
How off-road is your wheelchair, Mary? At all?
Yes, because it has a motor in the wheels. The wheels have a motor, and it makes grass feel like it's actually level. I have to go a little slower, but it can off-road.
Grass is a wonderful thing. The woods of North Carolina have very little, relatively flat grassy areas though. So I would stick next to some kind of transit network that's been established.
I want to be like off the road, able to dive in the bushes if we need to, kind of thing.
Right. Well, you would definitely want to be on the west side of the 2-lane highway that's going up there, because that is the more heavily wooded side. The other side is pretty much just coast, like beach, little rocky, and then waves. So, oh shit, I was supposed to, god damn it.
Yeah, you were.
I didn't set up Sirenscape, but that's fine, because this is the pneumonia episode, so everybody's going to have to use the theater of mind for a week. But, because Sirenscape crashed, but, not actually flying into some of the hardest things. Well, yeah, it's, there's a little, Sean did swim through a Cat 6, that's right, a new level, an unclassifiably strong hurricane she managed to survive again. But yeah, so you guys are going north along the road. And I am going to need Notice Rolf. Damn, they're double sixes.
Jeez.
Sun's in your eyes.
Jeez, I don't. Your ears are bleeding. I mean, critical failure. Like, Sean, you suddenly have hysterical deafness. I don't know. Jesus, critical fail. There is the sound of several motors approaching from the north, headed south.
Oh, get off the road. Get off the road.
I would probably motorcycles mostly from the sound of it.
Yeah, we are in the tree line behind bushes.
Hiding.
I'm gonna need
Yeah.
stealth
Not move.
rolls at a +2.
I'm a stealthy son of a bitch.
Damn.
I'm a fucking ghost, Will.
Well, that makes sense.
I'm like
You
Arnold
guys
Schwarzenegger and Predator. Mud all over my
dive
face.
into the woods, right? And Skibba, being the hero, is trying to assist Mary. And they get
And I
down.
absolutely would be.
They get down into the ditch, right? And right as the first of the motorcycle riders rounds the corner, and he clearly sees them, right? Right there. And he says, "We'll come back for them." And they ride. There are 28 motorcycles and a truck.
Ooh. Like a pickup or a semi?
Yeah, pickup truck. Yeah.
Okay. Is it like just like a F-150 kind of thing, or is it like a dually?
It's a more beat up. It's probably 20-year-old blue pickup truck. Some kind of modifications
Okay.
made onto it. Has one of those kangaroo bumpers. You know.
And did I happen to notice any specific cut on their jackets that was represent who they are?
Give me a notice roll at a -2. You were trying to hide, and they are whipping past.
So -4.
No, sir.
All I'm saying is with that stealth roll, I can do like Rambo First Blood on these guys.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, you could definitely, you run out of the woods, snatch the last one off the bike. Yeah, no, I mean, that was
Take
ridiculous.
it out like a Kodak knife.
Definitely. That hits you with the infrared, right? But you already covered yourself in mud. Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah.
All right, guys. I think
Want
we
some
need to double
candy?
comment away from this area.
They drew first blood.
Do we get to win this time, Sarge?
So if we continue north on this
Just
road, is there any
random Rambo quotes. Jesus. Yeah, well, they saw that you guys were headed north, you know. This is the main road here. I would, if you wanted to avoid the "we'll come back for them," right, either switch directions or just start heading straight into the woods, which, as previously discussed, is,
It's rough going.
yeah, it's, the woods
that's
of
why.
North Carolina.
Is there any side streets nearby that we can start?
No, 2-lane highway. You could circle back to that area. You saw the developed property back by the marina. But that was also where the shots were coming from that you were avoiding
I mean,
earlier.
we can't handle 28 guys.
Speak for yourself, Bowser. I think he's got
I mean, that's
112
Bowser.
bullets. Woo!
Mary cannot handle.
Right.
Yes.
I've got 30
All right.
bullets and one gun. We'll be fine.
So do we want to carry Mary and take apart the wheelchair and?
Holy shit. Now,
Hike it-
carrying
hike
Mary
it through the
is
woods?
not a fantastic solution for people's endurance, stamina, your guys' movement speed. With no offense to anybody, she's a full-grown woman. And, I mean, I couldn't do that for an hour and a half, 2 hours, you know? I mean, Christ.
How far are we from the north?
How far are you from the what?
Like the northern urban area, or?
I mean, you'd have to keep walking at this point. You're uncertain. It's gotten less developed the further north you've made it. I mean, mind you, you guys are like maybe a half mile up the road from where you were. You barely progressed at all.
Yeah. Maybe
It
we
might do well to be under their noses.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, like
If they
That
think
seems
we're
like the
going north,
dumbest.
they're gonna head
Just-
going north.
I don't.
That's
So if we
20.
go
That's
back-
28 notice rolls we have to beat.
Yeah,
well,
but
it
if we
depends on
go
whether or not they're active
back-
observers. But yeah, no, yeah. Mhm.
if we go back, at least we can. They think we're going one way. They only saw two of us. That's
Well,
an
they saw
idea.
us trying to get into the woods.
Let's try to
So-
split the party, is what it means. Good luck, you
I don't want to
two.
split the party.
Yeah, I was actually thinking of maybe splitting to run some recon up north, just to see if there's anything to see, like that we could make it to at any time.
I would say at least let's run
You guys are
like at
insane
least a couple
people.
hundred,
You are
two or
insane
300
people.
yards up the road,
Why are we not going?
and then go back into the woods, just so we can hide as they come back.
The problem is we don't know when they're coming back.
Yeah, it could
what
be
their
5
heads-
minutes. It could be a couple of hours. It could be a day or two. And again, carrying Mary through the just undeveloped North Carolina woods is not a solution for it. It's just not. It's just not. It's not
Well,
gonna work.
that's why I wanted to. I mean, we don't have to carry her far off the road. It's just enough to where we are hidden.
Yeah, I mean, a few hundred yards might do it. I mean,
That's
you
fair.
didn't see any dogs or anything like that, so.
I mean, the only thing is that hopefully they're stupid. That's my only
being
hope.
Stupid.
Generally, people
Yeah.
that have packed together for survival and seem to have success in numbers and arms over the period of weeks, they're probably the lowest common denominator. That's a safe assumption.
And I am letting you know right now, as somebody that's been on manhunts, it is easy to lose somebody in the woods.
Oh, I know. A couple hundred yards is a big deal. It's a big deal for sure.
It's huge, and especially where they don't know where we go into the woods, we can hide just a few hundred yards in there.
Well, you read those
And
stories about
to-
those kids. They died of exposure a quarter mile away from their campsite. You know, like you had 100 people out there, and a quarter mile they made it, and you didn't find. You know, all kinds of wacky. Yeah. So I mean, yeah. So my argument isn't, oh man, they'll be able to find you like that. My argument is,
Getting there.
I mean, getting there. What if one of them does find you in that situation, and one of you has like Mary, like, oh shit, you know, I mean, like, you know, it's just not a good idea generally. And now I'm not arguing that it isn't an idea and that you guys don't have, you know, of course, the ability to do it. But man, it just seems like taking a shit situation and making it just a little shittier. Just like, you know, why don't we sprinkle just a little bit of shit on that?
I'll listen to the what Mike and Mary want to do, especially since Mary's the one in the wheelchair. But I
I
want to
mean,
get.
I will go with the
away.
majority. So that's.
Well, the problem with
that's
the majority is that there's
What-
an even fucking number of you people. So
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean, what I'm saying is like.
I'll
let's
follow
lay
the
out
best idea.
possibilities and then go after that.
right, that's what
Um,
I'm saying, Drew. People.
Yes, the biker gang with the decked out, beat up pickup truck seem like nice folks.
Oh, I didn't suggest them. I mean, so far, every single sign of another human, you guys have
We've
been like,
ran from.
fuck that, right? Like, now, can we definitely assume and infer, right, that some people are being shitty out here right now? 100%. Can we assume and infer that everybody, after just 2 weeks, has already been like, fuck you, I'll get mine? Everybody?
Anarchy.
No. It's not. Some people, they think the government's going to show up any day. Some people, they just don't have it in. I'm a good guy, right? I'm naturally a good guy. I would seek that community. I would try and abide by the old rules for as long as they seem, you know, that would just be within me. That's what I would do in this situation. There are other people like me in the world. Now, I know we've all seen The Walking Dead, right? But again, zombies don't exist in this universe, right? You have noticed that some people were executed, right? And clearly not for
That's
being
what I'm
zombies,
worried
because you
about.
found them when they were zombies. But
And when you said round them up, that makes me think it's like collecting people. And
Did he
doing
say round I
kill.
thought he just said
Yes.
back
He
for.
said we'll be back. We'll be back
I
for
mean, his
the-
exact words were, "We'll be back."
Yep.
If they cared about humanitarian activities,
They would have helped the
stopped.
wheelchair woman.
Right. A couple of them could peel off
now,
and say, "Hey,
once again, I am not suggesting that the guys grimacing on motorcycles with, I'm not saying that's the group, but to automatically go every person here is a bad person it's gonna get you guys
No,
killed.
I was prepared to go find the single shooter guy, but everyone else would
Yeah.
leave."
You can always double back.
Alright.
I mean,
So, all right, let's do this. Bowser, which way do you want to go?
So we are on the eastern seaboard of Carolina. I know Virginia a lot better. I want to head north.
I'm actually talking about in this specific moment. We got a biker king that just went by.
Hey, big picture, where do you see yourself
immediacy.
going? Like in 5
So-
years.
In this specific moment,
In this
we
specific
should-
moment, are
we
we
should
scared of this
go-
biker gang?
yes, we should go back out to the road. We should head either direction about, I don't know, 500 yards or so, and then make our way back into the woods. Because it's
And-
going to be a lot harder to find us if they
Okay,
have
that's what.
tracks.
Okay, that
Alright.
was. I was
North
thinking.
or south?
We're already going north. I say we
Keep going north. Go north a few hundred yards, cut into the woods. All right. Who is carrying Mary?
me or Mike.
I'm fatigued. I'm still not feeling good from
Two
the boat.
levels of fatigue on Mike. I would
I will
definitely.
fireman's carry Mary.
Yikes! How long do you think you can keep that up?
So in the past,
Green.
right, I could carry about a 220-pound man for about 20 minutes to half an hour without,
Mm-hmm.
passing out and dying.
And that
Now-
is, and that would be for the day. Then it's not like I carry this man for a half an hour. I take a 5-minute breather. I get him
better
another half an
now.
hour. Get a 5 minute. I mean, I haven't carried
Yeah,
a
so-
dude all day, but I did wrestle, and yeah.
We would have to carry casualties in the
Mhm.
field, right? And
They totally
would
did round
be-
people up.
it would be a 15 to 30-minute march wherever we're going.
Hmm.
So,
So we'll say that
today,
you can,
maybe 15 minutes.
carry Mary 15 minutes into the woods at a half of a normal walking pace.
And I
given
should
the
say, I can crawl.
that is
Or
just
part of
not.
it.
Jesus.
Well, it would be like
I'm just saying,
Jesus.
as if people need a break, I will do my
Oh,
part.
sweet mother of
That's
God!
what I'm saying.
Just
But yeah, I mean, 15 minutes is plenty.
yeah, no, you
Yeah,
can get back
that-
in there,
that-
even at
that's-
half movement. Like you're doing 2 miles an hour over 15 minutes. That's quarter mile. What? Let's say you made it 1,500 feet into the woods. That's
yeah. And when we get there, I can camouflage the area a little bit.
And I'll rest up against a tree.
Cut up some shrubs and
well. I don't
lay
think
'em
these
out.
fellas are. They're gonna go back to the ditch. They're probably gonna sniff around a little, and then they're gonna go back to their murder raping, right? Like, it's a lot easier when they're just sitting there. Oh, look at that! And they delivered their. We'll be back. And they were clearly headed somewhere more
so they are
important.
murder rapists.
I mean, I said it, but I mean, damn, it's weird for you to assume it.
Just
No, they're
You know.
one of those fucking Bikers for Christ groups, man. They do the Toys for
Mhm.
Tots. It's actually a group of guys that stand
Bikers
outside of a
against
boys
bullying.
right against abused kids' courts, right? They have to like face their abusers, so all the bikers show up and they stand there in their leathers. Yeah, it's that group, and you guys just fucked him off. Actually, single shooter. Now he's a crazy fucking person. He's the one that executed all those people. No, I mean you guys have the right of it. They clearly were not good people.
Yeah, I think we will find a nice spot to lie low, listen out for the bikes.
Yeah, we
And
absolutely be able to hear them.
So, here's some other things that we want to take into consideration. None of you have eaten or dranken in 2 days now. No nourishment, no sustenance, and I don't know if you've ever gone 2 days without food, but it sucks. And I don't know if you've ever
Does
gone
it look
2
like
days
I've gone
without
2 days without food?
water, but that is on a whole nother level of suck. That is.
all right, so in that vein, I will take the knife that we have and
Mhm.
dig a hole in a low spot next to a tree,
Mhm.
and we will await water. You might
Yes.
get little sips, but
Mhm.
you'll get some.
Well, I mean, you could always go scouting around for a creek, not that that is necessarily potable, especially given the
Right.
circumstances of the, who
The
knows what
dead
kind of
walking.
bodies are, chilling and
Interesting.
Right.
what kind of. I'm just saying there's probably a boil alert on.
Right.
Yeah. But so
Oh,
you
and the
guys.
mosquitoes.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it's this time of year, so not the worst.
Oh, okay. We're not in
Uh,
the
it
dead of
could be.
summer.
It's a little unseasonably warm on account of the remnants of the hurricane currently, but no, we're tracking right about now. So, what kind of camp comforts are we going to go about here? I don't recall anybody having any kind of. Well, you got a flare. You could definitely start a fire with a flare. Would
Well,
you want
yeah.
to though, given the smoke, all that? There's. Don't blame it on Kirkman. You helped.
Kirkman is the one that locked the door behind him.
Yeah.
Oh my!
That's on
Oh,
Kirkman.
you are about to put that on Kirkman?
Yes.
Holy
Yep.
shit!
Yes.
He's not here to defend himself.
Wow! Watch the episode, guys. It was a mutual fucking. Let's leave these people to die.
Like
He just happened to have the keys. That's all that was.
if anyone other than Kirkman had the blame here, it's Skiba because he saved Kirkman. So
Wow!
putting that out there.
Man, Pinnacle Holocaust by osmosis? I don't.
Wow.
I mean, you didn't set the church on fire, but you definitely barred the door with all them kids in there. No, that was Kirkman. But
That was
Kirkman.
fucking Kirkman.
so what is going on in this campsite with no food, no water, starving individuals terrified of the biker gang as the shadows lengthen and we go into early evening?
Sorry, Drew's giving us that Nazi tagline.
I'm just saying, they were just following orders apparently.
Yeah,
We're great at Nuremberg.
November, I don't know what you'll forage for in North Carolina.
Mushrooms predominantly.
Yeah.
Squirrels.
I don't know enough about mushrooms to tell which ones are good.
Yeah,
which
that's
ones-
not a.
Well,
I
fortunately
don't feel
now
like that's a good idea.
there are only 2 fatally toxic species of mushrooms that are native to North America. Yeah.
So we got like a 1 out of 1,000 chance of eating them.
Oh no, there are a ton that'll make you sick as shit. There's at
Oh.
least a dozen that'll make you trip balls. There are some that are filled with parasites. No, but there are only 2 that'll kill you outright on a consumption. Yeah. You have the Amanita muscaria, right? That needs to be prepared first, right? And then you have like the Lady of Death. It's this white mushroom that, I mean, you just would not put it in your mouth. Like you go, nope, that fucking thing is poison. I mean, clearly, you should check it out. It's a wacky mushroom. But yeah, it would be mushrooms. It'd be small game. It would require some hunting, some foraging. I don't know what kind of berries. Certainly some currant.
Blackberries maybe, but I don't
Blackberries
know how.
are usually the
Yeah.
I don't know how late they are.
Wild.
But
Yeah.
berries aren't trusting either because
Just
they
a
can
touch
do that
late for
too.
blackberries, but there would still be some for sure.
I want to take some of the fishing line and make some snares and those rabbits and squirrels and that sort of dealio.
All right, describe where you are placing these snares.
Well, you want to place them in areas where a small animal can enter. So, in between two rocks or under a log, or
What are you using for
if there's
the
any paths.
triggering mechanism of the snare?
I'm just gonna make a slip knot on it
Mm-hmm.
so that
So
they
like
go
literally,
through it.
there's no like trigger. It's just their foot gets caught as they pass, knot tightens, they become entangled.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
it normally would be like their neck or their body would catch it as they're running through the.
Oh, I
You
see.
know, you
You're gonna
pick an
have it
area
like
this big.
draped. Oh, it's not gonna be like on the ground. You're going to have it like.
Right.
Okay, that makes
It'll
sense.
be sitting like this, and then when they go through it, it tightens and catches it.
Give me a survival check to see if you can notice any small game trails. You know, the kind of areas you have described. Yeah, there are a couple around. I think you could lay down 2 snares with a relative, chance of success. And I mean, it is,
Okay.
they're not baited. It's, random. Snares
Yeah,
they're super efficient calorically, but not a very high success.
right.
I
I mean, there's other traps we could make if you guys really get into it. But
Can we make sure the place we're staying in doesn't have snakes in the area that are gonna kill us? Because like Carolina is
I mean,
literally snake capital of the world.
Are
Yeah, I
you
thought you
going to
said,
get St. Patrick to drive them all? I mean, how are you gonna? I have no idea how you're like.
No, but just so we can try and pick an area that doesn't seem or scouted out that we can tell.
This
No.
Snakes in
is a
November is
snake
also not so bad.
zone. Yeah, no, no. I mean, like, it's not like you lie your head down on a cottonmouth or something. I mean, it's just, No, I am picturing, autumnal leaf cover. Some of the trees are sparse. Some of them still have it on there. Some of that color change, that you get in the Carolinas, right? The ground is kind of wet. You got that mossy, peaty. I have described it as unseasonably warm, but, you get back here in the canopy, right? And definitely at night, they're not an issue until you go to sleep. And then, well, occasionally you wake up because they say, oh, you're fucking warm, aren't you? That's great.
Right.
But
there's not a ton of snakes in November.
I mean, frankly, like if I didn't throw a zombie shark at you, I'm not gonna hit you with snakes. There's like real shit going on here. But Mary does die from a scorpion sting, so turns out a local collector and brought in a bunch of emperor scorpions and let them loose just 20 feet away, just a couple of days earlier, right before he died.
I mean, if we find a snake, we'll eat it.
Right.
They
Yeah. No
serve
shit.
a great purpose, but I will hightail it out of there if I
Right. Yeah. No. There's
your,
no like.
Your wheelchair isn't going through the woods very well. You're not hightailing it anywhere.
No, I believe you did just say I can crawl, which
I can fucking crawl.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you just sleep in your wheelchair?
Yeah, I mean,
not work?
in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
Don't understand.
So
irrational fears, guys. Irrational fears.
Having had established that St. Patrick has in fact driven all the snakes out of this patch of North Carolina, and that the shadows are lengthening, and we have put down 2 snares. Right. I will allow a D20, 15 and up. You caught something. I'm being really too fair. That's just ridiculous. And neither of the snares have anything inside of them. But that means you are going to bed empty and thirsty. And I imagine the thirst at this point. I mean, your tongues are sandpaper. They're starting to swell. Your lips are chapped. They're sticking to each other.
I've been drinking some.
Damn it, you're making me thirsty now.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. No shit.
I'm drinking that dirty water.
I'm a hydro homie. But yeah. With that, anybody that wants to sleep through the night is going to need to give me a vigor roll because we have not found sustenance yet.
Should we do watches?
Yeah, we definitely will.
Oof.
I'm too tired. I'm too
Like,
tired to keep watch.
Skipper
You are
should,
too
you
tired
should
to
sleep,
do
buddy.
anything, Skibba, in fact, because that is another failed vigor roll, which means that you are nigh incapacitated.
Oh my fuck.
You wake up the
Oh,
next
I forgot
morning
about
and
vigor.
he needs food and water, or he is not going to make it, guys. He pushed himself too hard. It was too selfless. He can't even stand up today.
How
I'll
many,
take care of him to the best of my ability.
How many
Well,
cans
is it
did Mary
morning
get?
yet, or are we waiting for?
Huh? Oh,
Is it
yeah,
morning?
it can be, yeah, it's definitely morning if you want it to be
Oh,
morning. You had
okay.
a
Well, I
shit
wanna.
night's sleep too, Sean,
Yeah.
giving you a level of fatigue.
Is there dew on
Oh,
leaves
yeah,
and?
but I mean, yo, have you ever tried to gather dew for sustenance? I'm telling you, I
We
went
did
2
dig
days
the
without
hole.
drinking, right, and licked the water off of a little trickle on the side of some mossy rocks once, and it was not enough to slake my thirst. Dew, if you
Oh,
did dig a hole, yes,
How much
yes.
water's in my hole
Oh
that
man,
I dug?
you know exactly how much water's in the hole you dug. Fuck
There's
off.
some.
There's some. So you're telling
I've
me
got
right now, if you dig a hole just anywhere at a low point overnight, in the morning there will be standing water in it. Is that what you're telling me right now?
like
This
that
guy.
much.
Which cactus did you cut open to pour in there in this fictitious water gathering technique? Holy cow. You guys need a creek and you need something to boil water in. Full stop. You need to give Skibba some food because, again, he is coming in and out of consciousness at this point. He is not faring well.
where's the nearest house?
Probably back where that gunfire came from.
That's a mile away, too.
At this point, let's see. You made it a half mile up the road, then you progressed. We said another quarter mile. Yeah, you're 3/4 a mile north of where you assumed that was. You haven't heard gunfire again since, and you haven't left the proximity in which, you know, you would still be able to hear it, assuming whoever that was is still there.
How many cans did Mary get?
I believe we said there was a jar full of fat, and
Yes.
you got what, like enough to make a tripwire thing? How many cans
Yeah.
was that, Mary? 6, 8, something like that?
Well, my guess is you would want to do like 2 each go. So
Well,
we'll
and
say
we would also need to take into account how many cans one would just find lying around the marina.
yeah.
I just
I
want to take a
mean,
couple to go.
some
and-
bastards don't recycle.
Mm.
Yeah,
That's
definitely
the
a couple of cans for
environment
water
joke, but-
would be a smart idea.
Yeah, because you could boil the water right in the can.
Yep.
Mhm.
You'd have to start a fire, but, you know, that's neither here nor there.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna let Mike
It's daytime, so.
die.
I
There's a small
thought we were
fire.
just fuck Skibbs. Eat him.
I'm
what
kind
you
of
do.
waiting for it.
We need that meat shield, you know.
All right, that's true. That's true. He has
Oh.
proven himself like, you know, an asset,
Yeah.
despite his
competent.
current state as a non-asset.
So early morning, I'm going to go about half a mile further west alone.
Mm-hmm. Is everybody
And
else
hunt
okay
for-
with this?
Hunt for squirrels and rabbits. And that sort of thing.
As long as you like, how far away are you gonna be?
Like I said,
As
about
it-
half a mile off.
Okay.
That way, the gunfire is so far away that biker dudes don't come searching. And I'm just gonna go and get a squirrel or two. Then I'll be back.
Are you headed a half mile deeper into the woods then?
Yes,
By yourself?
correct.
It
Excellent.
might help to take Sean with you.
No, by all means. By
I
all
mean,
means.
it's up
Because
to
if
Sean
you
if
have
she
a
wants to
walker
come.
behind you,
Sean,
two eyes are
what's
better
Sean
than...
gonna? So first of all, he's going to go hunting squirrels with a pistol, right? And I just
Or an
need to,
EP5.
I just need to explain to you how fucking, I mean, shooting a squirrel A wild
very
squirrel,
good
not a
shot, Will.
city squirrel. A wild squirrel. One of these squirrels that says, "Oh, look, it's a person. Go fuck yourself. I'm gone." Right? Lining that up with a pistol, right, and attempting to bag enough to feed some people, right? I mean, that's a tall ass order, and he's gonna go do it by himself.
Yep.
But again, so I will let you use the standard Suede rules for whether or not you succeed at this. I'm going to take 3 bullets from you,
Okay.
and I am going to
Sure.
get a survival roll from you. On a success, you procure enough squirrel meat for 1 individual for 1 day. On a raise,
Okay.
you procure enough squirrel meat somehow. You shoot, I don't know, something other than a squirrel. For the love of God, come back with like
60
12
squirrels.
squirrels. Just fucking
I done got some squirrels.
for 4 people for 1 day.
So is the shooting? Is that 3
shooting's just
literal
counted.
shooting rolls?
Just no, it's just gonna be those are bullets because we're keeping track of inventory for hunting.
Gotcha.
You either hit the squirrels you needed or you missed your shots, but you spent 3 bullets either way.
All right. So 3 bullets coming off, and then a survival roll.
Yep.
Right. Wish me luck.
All right.
I'm gonna burn a Benny.
Yeah, oh yeah.
We gotta eat.
Definitely have to eat at this
There we
point.
go.
Hey, there's food for 1 person.
Skiba has food.
Yeah, that's what matters.
All right, you bring back a 1, 2.
Did I find a creek or puddle or anything on the way there?
Give me another survival roll.
Shit.
Yes, you did. You found a running creek, right? That has clear water, a stone bottom, right? And there is a point at which you were wandering along during your squirrel hunt. Little natural kind of dam, waterfall, lots of churning of the fluid there. See straight to the bottom. Definitely still a boil situation, but not brackish. Yeah.
Right. I will fill up those cans that I brought with me.
All right. You
bring
now
that to her.
have what, 12, 24, we'll call it 36 ounces of water that I'm assuming you're carrying in one hand and 2 dead squirrels in the other. Excellent. Give me a notice roll. Sorry, at a -4.
Come on. Hey,
Oh my
fuck.
Jesus.
Mm.
Oh.
No.
Man. God, I love that trait roll as a natural 1.
To shit.
Oh, he did, but I mean, it is the curse of Bowser and notice
I
rolls.
know.
It'll be fine.
It will be
Everything's fine.
fine. Give me a second here. This totally isn't a thing that I have to pull.
I knew we should have had Sean go.
Alrighty then. It's fine. Everything's fine. He's gonna
When
live.
you come and find my body, I'll have water and squirrels for you. It'll be great.
Alright, Bowser. Wow,
That was wrong and miss.
look at that. Yeah, you were completely oblivious to this fellow through the thicket. Immediately came out, teeth snatched at you. You are shocked. You can either drop the water and the squirrels, right? You can run. You can try a smarts to trick said husk person. A few things to note. That this one is definitely one of the shambler varieties. Is absolutely caked with leaves and mud from head to toe, which is why you missed them in the first damn place, and does not appear to be especially agile or anything. In fact, its guts have bloated and distended and ruptured, which gives its whole upper torso kind of a strange lurch, which might explain why it missed you so resoundingly, despite the fact that you were caught completely flat-footed.
I will run if that's an option.
Yeah, just give me a pace die. Are you going to run straight back towards the other people, or are we going to...
Yeah, straight back.
All right. Yep. Woof.
Yeah.
That's fine.
It's
Yeah.
enough to get away from
Yep.
that guy.
No, you definitely break free. It snaps at you. You take off through. Still have your 3 cans of water and your 2 squirrels. Make it back to camp, breathing heavily from your half-mile run through the woods back. You assume that, I guess, you weren't followed, or maybe you didn't really. You ran straight back, so it'll take the thing a while to get there at any rate, you know?
I'm going to tell everyone to keep an eye out. There was one in the woods. But let's get a fire going, cook
All
these
right.
squirrels, and boil this water.
How are we going to start this fire?
Is there any flint along the ground anywhere?
Yeah, right next to the can of gas and the charcoal briquettes.
It's worth a fucking try, Will.
No,
right?
but I mean, you have road flares, you know?
Well,
If you guys can't start a fire with a fucking road flare, I literally, like, just hang yourself with that fishing line. Just because it's over. It's already over.
We also have a lot of bullets. We could.
Yeah, no, you could pop a bullet
cut one
open
of
and
those
use the power, but I mean, still, you have to get, that's
We gotta
kind
have a
of
spark of some kind.
right.
You get the emergency flares, right? The roadside.
Right. Yeah,
that's
you
what
get
I
a
was
bunch
trying
of
to hold
those.
on to them. We also have the
we're in
naval
We're in the
flare.
fucking woods. We got kindling.
Mm-hmm.
We have a flare.
You said there was peat on the floor, and that's an accelerant.
Still need a spark.
That
That it
That's the
smelled
yeah.
peaty. It's kind of leafy. It's a little damp in here, but I mean, you could definitely, with a half hour of searching, have enough kindling together to get a fire going. As long as somebody reasonably describes the circumstances in which you get one started, it's a flat survival roll.
I mean, it's a shitty way to do it, but if you have a shoelace, you can
Oh
tie
my
it.
god, the bow thing. Have you ever tried that?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
a pain in the ass.
Sucks ass.
That's just no. That's just Jesus. Oh my god.
We should have grabbed some seashells while we were on the beach.
Right? There were lots of things. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That makes the bow a lot easier to use.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I have a lighter in my backpack. Do I have a backpack? Did we decide that or not?
It was Sean that said she got rid of the backpack due to the drowning potential.
It's either have a backpack or drown. So.
And you did say that you had a backpack. I do not recall you saying specifically that you had removed it from the room, but now we've canonically established it's on there. And yeah, so sure. What kind of lighter is it? A Bic or a Zippo?
Normally it would
It
be
matters.
Normally it would be
a Bic.
A Bic.
A shitty little Bic.
That's fine. Yeah, that probably lights still. Yeah. You weren't overtly submerged more than once in salt water a week ago. I'm sure that the Bic lighter was still totally
I found
just
those things
fine.
before that.
No, I know. If it was like a 7-Eleven brand lighter, I tell you to go fuck yourself. But no, a Bic lighter has a reasonable chance of still functioning. So yeah.
Oh, I have a lighter too.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm gonna stop allowing people to discover things in their inventory here. This is getting ridiculous. But yes, fire is established. Who here has gutted or cleaned a squirrel before?
Can't be that hard.
I've gutted deer in javelina before.
Yeah, this would be a lot like a javelina.
No, it's exactly like a javelina. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
You sink the knife 4 inches in, right below the sternum. Open up the gut. You gotta.
I've dissected a rat, so I do know how to peel back the skin.
Yeah, I have degloved a rat as well in the course of my wife's PhD dissertation, and I can tell you that it does require some physical force, right? And also a deft hand, because it is very easy when squeezing the midsection of one of these creatures to
To
rupture
burst.
their abdomen. And after the abdomen is ruptured, the contents of the abdomen then leak into the abdominal cavity, thusly spoiling the meat. So it is not just like, oh, well, you just cut the thing and it's fucking. It does require some nuance and so on. I popped the abdomen of 2 of the rats that I degloved accidentally just through the course of normal handling while removing their faces. Like, so yeah, who wants to do that?
What role is it? A survival?
Yeah,
Survival. Yeah.
I don't have
Yeah,
that.
survival.
I will do it.
All right, let's try not to pop the abdomen of either of these squirrels. Each one is going to be a survival roll, by the way.
Okay.
You know what? No, yeah, just fine. Yeah, it's fine. All right, excellent. First one's perfect. Just
And I'm watching so I can see it for next time. I'm watching everything he's doing, just trying to catalog it.
yeah, you split the second one. You know, yeah, right above the tail. You pull the spine out right there. His little furry feet still hanging on the thing. The rest of it's just a rat. Just in their teeth. Yeah, you managed to get most of the fur off of both of them. What's the manner we are going about preparing these things to be cooked?
I'm gonna shove a stick up its ass.
Well, now,
I was just about to say that.
if you have gutted this animal, mind you, right? There's no. I mean, you split
There's
that.
no
That's
ass.
there's the. I
Yeah.
mean, you literally pulled the asshole off with the intestines. Like it's a spine, it's a rib cage, it's 4 little limbs ahead, and then
You
the
could
back
hang
meat.
it on the stick. Like
I'll
you
make
could
a
hang
Yeah,
spit.
make
Yeah.
a roast.
Yeah. Mhm. And
We got the fishing twine.
I could sharpen a stick and shove it through it and stick it over the fire. Doesn't really.
yeah, no, I mean it doesn't matter in particular. And how long does one cook a squirrel to make it parasite free? Does anybody got their pocket
till it's
thermometer?
dead
Yeah, till it's
Probably
dead.
about
again.
probably about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, just some
It
Directly
squirrel.
depends
over
on the
fire.
heat. I would say about. I wouldn't burn
The
it.
thickness of the
I
meat.
burned
yeah.
the shit out of it. Are you
So-
fucking kidding me?
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
you
I'd
fucking
burn,
kidding-
I'd burn the
Do
shit out
not
of
give
it.
me my wild squirrel
I will-
rare.
I will-
Thank you. No.
want
No.
I like a medium
fuck.
rare squirrel,
well done.
please.
Jeez. us.
You get it crispy, you know.
Yeah, you
And
can.
Mike's eating it anyway, so who cares?
Yeah,
Well
he
done.
doesn't care
Well,
about me.
please, well done.
Yeah, brown as brown can be, Drew.
Yeah, don't you like it curled with ketchup? Isn't that your steak MO anyway, Mike? Didn't
Oh,
we
yeah.
discover this about you?
No.
Aren't you a well done steak guy?
I am a medium well steak
Medium
guy.
well.
He is a
Get the
ruined
fuck
steak
outta here.
guy.
So
He's a. You
Skipper
killed it
actually
twice.
died just out of just bad taste right there. It just killed him.
Skip was gone.
He said this isn't charred enough for me, and then
And then Mike shot him.
Now, yeah, so you managed to boil some water, I mean, so here's the thing, though, right? Like 3 cans of water, 4 people. I mean,
My whole purpose is to
Getting
get
Skibble
Mike
back up.
yeah.
back up. Yeah.
If we dedicate all of these resources to Skibba, we can knock him down to just 1 level of fatigue, assuming he gets the rest after having eaten and drinking for 6 hours. It should not be difficult for you to relocate the stream, to refill the water sitch, as long as you keep the fire going. Is that the plan?
Yeah.
That sounds like a good plan.
Skibba, you feel your life reserves restore somewhat, your head clears, and after a bit of restfulness, you are able to resume your relative, self-idness. Hey, you guys keep this up. Some of you are going to be losing those beast traits in a couple of weeks. All right.
Yay. Check
But
the snares.
So, we have everybody up. No signs of motorcycles, no sounds of anything. There were 3 gunshots earlier that netted 2 squirrel and 1 undead person. That was getting on, we would say, when I said he needed the rest, probably 4 hours ago now. Making this pretty resoundingly 10:30, 11 a.m.-ish. Still before noon, as Bowser had described himself going out first dawn A little hunter style. And I will need a notice roll from everybody.
Let's get that critical fail out of the way.
Just a 3. I mean,
Yeah, notice is just not my thing.
It's
I'm
really
taking
not.
awareness.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean
I'm taking
awareness.
awareness.
Awareness is something that most of you will probably have here soon anyway, just generally from your level of paranoia.
Right.
But you hear motorcycles, everybody, but Bowser.
The fire.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it out immediately
How are you going about putting out the fire?
using the heel of my shoe. It depends how big is the fire.
Well, now it was big enough now to cook a couple of rodents. Right, so I imagine it would have to be a couple of feet across there.
Okay, then I try to get the dirt and put the dirt on
Yeah.
top of the fire.
Are you doing this like from the wheelchair? Are you scooping it with your hands? How
I'm
are
helping. I'm absolutely
everybody,
helping.
everybody is trying to tamp down the fire. Excellent, excellent. That is yes, brown through and through on the squirrel, please. Yes. Also, if any of the worms that reside within its flesh could also be roasted to death before I put it in my mouth, that would be the preference. That would be. It would be fucked up if I gave one of you a zombie tapeworm. It's like, oh man, but you gotta shoot it in the head. You can't.
Oh.
I got this.
Right.
Mike, stand still.
But
this is where we find out if the pro-life people are right or not. How many little fetuses are running around? And what what
Gosh.
do the feet?
so.
I'm tired.
Bye, Twitch. It was nice. We almost made it.
Yeah.
The
We had
bikes
something
are headed south and then north. They drive past. They don't seem to especially linger on the spot or anything like that.
Okay.
Wait, so they went south and north?
They were headed from the south to the north.
Oh,
Last
okay,
time when you
okay.
encountered them, they were headed
Okay.
north to south.
Yeah.
Now they're headed
Gotcha.
north.
Okay.
So they stayed overnight.
Somewhere. Yeah, did something.
All right. Well,
All right.
we're-
Do we want to run back to the creek, refill the water so we have it?
well, it's kind of pointless without fire because the can's not going to keep water very.
In a couple of minutes, you guys hear a single rifle shot again, coming from the south.
Do we want to go see? I don't know. I don't trust anything.
It's a good way
I'm
to get
cautious.
shot.
That's one of my things.
We need.
Impossible to
I like-
tell if it's the same. I mean, sounds like a rifle shot.
I led you guys north, and choose which way you want to go.
I just don't like trigger happy. Trigger happy makes me nervous.
What I'm kind of worried about too is they're trying to draw us out.
I don't think
It is an
they
excellent
noticed
strategy. Randomly fire a rifle 5 times every 12 hours or so. It's master crafted. Nobody would see it coming.
And we didn't hear any gunfire.
No return
Overnight.
fire, no combat sounds like people are engaging one another, nothing like that.
Yeah, it sounds like a single guy, like church bell tower or something.
Holed up in his house, yeah.
Yeah, and he's just shooting.
Sniping zombs.
No, if there was like a firefight going, there would be many more, it'd either be very brief or there would be many more shots back and forth. This is clearly a single shooter doing something.
I'm up for anything. I follow you guys and help where I can. So
Now that
it's
the bike
obvious
is
we
back
need
north,
food.
I'm ready to go south.
All right, south.
So, are we going
Oh.
south through the woods? Are we going back to the road and progressing south?
I think we need to go to the road. So the 15-minute hike back to the road.
Roadside, maybe.
Yeah, I don't
Who
feel
is
comfortable
carrying
walking along
Mary?
this.
Back
I
to the
will
road.
carry Mary.
Bowser again.
I can try
Trooper.
to help.
All right, give me a strength roll, Skibba.
Damn.
I'm gonna
I
need
just
your
feel it.
strength roll, Bowser, at a -2. I'm afraid. Oof.
Damn it, that hurt. That was-
Yeah. Well, so you both are carrying Mary down an incline that leads to the ditch that then goes back up to the road. Right, Skibba loses his footing, but not his holding on Mary, which pulls Bowser down, and everybody falls into a rough and tumble heap requiring a vigor roll.
Mike, what is up
Oof.
with your rolls today?
I am going to
Oof.
spend a Benny.
Yeah.
Changing colors right now.
God damn it.
I am afraid that Mary and Skibba have both taken a wound in the tumble. Skibba, your knee went sideways, man. Something bad happened there, and
Dislocation?
you know, you ever had that thing
Oh,
where you're
cool.
just chilling and then your knee goes pop, and then you go, oh fuck, my leg doesn't feel great, right? And you go,
Yes.
now what
It's
was
not
that?
critical failure. I don't want to.
No, you're just, pop, that-
It's dislocated.
and Mary,
Yeah, that's-
your head ended up on a lovely pillow of a rock.
Mm.
And you have a nice long gash just above your right ear here that's bleeding like a head wound does.
Okay,
Which isn't to say, oh my god,
now-
you're gonna die or something, but I mean, you are bleeding down onto your shirt and your hair is matted with blood.
yeah.
You got a little headache, you know?
Well, we've got the sheets and the thing. Let's clean it up, bandage it.
I'll get out, because Bowser said that in the first episode, when he was in the infirmary, that he got a first aid kit. So I can at least get something on there with intense pressure, or even
I mean,
don't think we have
you could do
super
that
glue
just
or
with
anything.
your fucking hand or something. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
No, you're gonna have
I'm-
a gash on the back here.
I
mean,
need
that's
to fix his knee. That's the thing.
Oh, it'll be fine. Again, it wasn't a critical failure. I mean, it's just that's what's accounting for the wound. None of these things are affecting any kind of effect. They just.
I wanted to use a medicine roll because you have to, for Suede, it has to be within the first hour.
That's true.
So that's.
Or
what
he'll
I
be
wanted
dealing
to
with
do.
a wound for a week, but it won't be like a wound. He's
can't do
limping
that.
or whatever. But yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, why don't you go ahead and give me a medicine roll? And if you were attempting a medicine roll on yourself, it happens at a -2.
Yeah, I mean, first I'm gonna get.
And everybody can only make one medicine check per target per hour, which means that everybody can make one
Can I
attempt at
aid-
medicine. Yes,
Could I
but
aid Mary with her?
do you have the medicine skill?
No, but
It's an unskilled roll, which means if you fail the roll,
strongly.
you make it less likely that she succeeds. You go in there and
'Cause
go,
I have
that's
a
not
D6.
broken, stand up, and you slap it, like.
You wiggle the broken leg.
Right.
So what
that's
if you
happened
do
to me.
have a medicine?
Well, then you can assist. If you get a success, it's a +2 to her roll. If you get a critical success, it's a +4. You fail, it's a -2. You critical fail, it just automatically fails. There's nothing. Yeah.
Well, it's a D4. I think I will.
He's gonna
Stand
camp
back
on
and
that
rest.
one? Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best idea. I'm just gonna say, someone put pressure on the back of my head. I gotta fix Skibba.
I'm on it.
Fix a skill.
And as a kind of
so
benevolent god, I'm just going to assume the wheelchair took the tumble okay.
That would be wonderful. That would be quite gracious.
Yeah, if that thing breaks, we are.
But
Well, if somebody was carrying Mary, we were trying to carry
No,
Mary.
you guys could do that little, where
Sean's got the wheelchair.
When you do the 2 branches and you just drag the person behind you. Yeah, there's lots of ways to take care of this thing. Not any that are as good as a, you know.
Okay.
So medicine roll.
God damn. I'm gonna spend a Benny.
Yeah, you are.
Whew.
Let's get rid of everybody's bennies. Oh man, I'm looking up there, and there are literally 4 bennies on the board right now. Do you want to know how many bennies I have?
Oh my
You
god.
really don't. Yeah, no, man, your knee is not. I mean, you're gonna need somebody to look at it. You're gonna need to rest up. You're gonna need something more than ditch. I have a splint medicine. You know, unless somebody else wants to give it a go.
I'm gonna give it a go.
All right.
I'll take a look at Mary too. Because
Yeah,
why not?
yeah, why
Oh
not?
God.
So it turns out you should not stick your dirty fingers into
Yeah,
a
no.
cranial wound. Is that skull tink tink? Oh, maybe. Yeah. Anybody else going to try a medicine roll against anybody? Now remember, you can do it on yourself at a -2.
I'm too
know.
afraid of critical failing.
Oh yeah, well that's the whole point of this, isn't it?
So,
Yeah.
Mary, I've got a plan. You're
Okay.
not gonna like it, but I've seen this in a
Probably not.
movie.
Oh Jesus Christ.
If I put my gun
Oh
up
my
against your
lord.
wound,
Changing the baby with the gun again.
No, you've just got
Changing
so
the
you got to
baby with
put
the
like
gun.
30 rounds through it, right? Get it nice and hot, and then just
now
take
what
care of
movie
that.
is that? Somebody has like a cut on their, and he like,
Oh, I've seen it.
he
Cauterizes
shoots
it
it.
with the gun.
Yeah.
I've seen
Right.
him use the gun barrel to do it. I haven't seen
That's
him
like some
actually like boom,
anime
boom,
shit.
boom. We're good now.
I'm sure I've seen that in my life,
Oh.
but I don't know what from.
So Mary is permanently deafened for the rest of her life, and now has powder
I'm not gonna do
burns in addition to a gaping head wound.
Yeah, no thanks.
Perfect. That's no. Mm-mm. So y'all
Uh,
are a little fucked up.
I want to try
Okay.
on myself. Nope. Not in that one.
Bleeding, distended in a ditch, muddy, dirty, downtrodden. Oh man, what a fucking.
Belly full of squirrel.
It's just that, well,
Yeah.
one of you has a belly full of
One of
squirrel.
them.
The rest of you are literally starving to death right now. Headed now south, now towards the sound of some gunfire, and the off chance that maybe this individual is a kind one or take pity on you, or maybe that you could just find somebody that knows the extent and scope of what's actually going on here, since we've spent the whole day with a bunch of assumptions and nothing but a couple of squirrels, right?
Right.
But that will transition us into the next chapter of this adventure. And normally I have a cliffhanger here, but frankly, pneumonia has me too exhausted. We're just gonna call 5 minutes. I don't want to set up this next scene and get through all this. And it turns out that you guys find all the cannibals, and no, there aren't any cannibals yet. But
There won't be if you guys die.
well, now there is. I mean, the second Skiba dies, there's cannibals. I can already feel it.
I'm kind of hungry.
But
he's fat. Get him.
they do have to gamble on the biker gang and the solitary shooter and all the rest of that bullshit that is potentially facing them. But thank you for watching. I promise we will be with sound effects and full form by this time next week. Either that or I'll be dead. I'm not sure. One or the other. God, I'm dragging ass tonight. But that was our show. Thank you so much for joining us. If you liked what you saw, please follow. We love subscriptions. Tell your friends about us. Talk about around the water cooler about us. Tell me in the chat on Twitter how unrealistic all my scenarios are for the, proposing the trials and tribulations of the survivors. Hey, as soon as I manage to kill one of these motherfuckers, which again, I almost managed to starve one of them out today, right? We'll have an opening on the show too. You could join the cast of survivors, maybe find yourself the competent, knowledgeable, savvy one that, ends up with like the single metal pauldron and the leather jacket and the facial scar that's just enough to make you kind of hotter but not enough to be disfiguring, right? With your custom like electrified machete. That could be your ass. Who knows? Who knows? But at any rate, that is our show. As always, I've been Will Thompson. This has been Mike Skibba, Mike Bowser, Sean McCrae, and Mary Mead. And from the League of the League of Gentlemen Explorers to yourselves. I know the name of my own channel I've been running for 6 months. May your dice always roll hot. Have a good night, guys.
Good night, everybody.